Hello, hello, hello. I see no camera. What the heck? I don't see anything. Ah, there we go. Aha! No, that's not it. You gotta be kidding me. Is that it? Is it working? Oh my god, did I finally get this thing to work? Let's see here. Microphone is Scarlet. Scarlet. Sound. Ah. How about that? Does that work? Hello, people. Let's see. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's awful. Hold on a second, folks. How about that? Yeah, that's better. That's better. Now, let's see. I hope that I have you all here. Sorry, I haven't done this thing in a while, so I had a hard time logging in. So let's see. And I can't find the chat room. Oh my lord, I can't find the chat room. What's that noise? That's weird. Let's see here. Can y'all? I can't find the chat room. Oh my lord. Events. There we go. 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 Hi, everybody.
Hi, I'm Goldilocks.
Oh, hi, Goldilocks. You're a commercial. Oh, my goodness. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hello, everybody. Can you see and hear me? Oh, I look horrible on this camera. Oh, awful. Awful, awful. Where'd you go? Oh, wait, there it is. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's see. The sound's a little off. Let me bring that closer. And let's see here. Now you should be able to hear me better, yes? Yes. Aw, thank you, darling. Aw, thank you, Cranium Lost. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, it's been a very, very long week for me, and go figure that October is my busiest month of the year. And the past week, a little bit, yeah, I'd say maybe 9 days for the next another 5 days. That 2 week period is the busiest 2 weeks of the whole year for me every year, and October is the busiest month of the year every year. So, and when I go from slow season to super duper busy season, wow, it like really wipes me out, especially when it comes to connecting with people that are deceased. That takes so much more energy out of me, whereas doing a future life reading, I can knock them out one after another, but doing a connection reading with people that are past, that just totally wipes me out. And I'm not used to that because August is one of the slowest times of the year. So, and then this past weekend, I had 2 group sessions at somebody's house. And then I had a big event yesterday with like 170 people. So I am just wiped out. And if I didn't have this event scheduled as a promise, and it wasn't Halloween and a Halloween event, I would have probably canceled out on this event. But I was really excited to be here with you all tonight because I haven't seen you all forever. I feel like I've neglected my people. So I don't want to neglect my people anymore. And don't mind my eye. I have a sty in my eye and I was looking for my eye drops, couldn't find them. And like I said, it's been a really, really long week, a long, exhausting week, and I would have preferred to do this earlier, earlier in the evening, but I chose 9 o'clock for a couple of reasons. Let me just put my candle back here. Because I want people on the West Coast to be able to tune in live, where it is. I guess it's 6 o'clock there on the West Coast, and I also wanted to give myself time just in case. So 9 o'clock. I should have probably done 8 o'clock. I probably would have been more awake. I was going to make some coffee for this event, but I decided not to because I don't want to be up all night. No. So Halloween, folks, my favorite time of the year. Halloween, my favorite holiday of the year, which goes back to our ancient ancestors, all of our ancient ancestors. This is a time where there's a veil that separates our world from the spirit world. And beginning on the fall equinox, which this year was on September 22nd, it actually fell on my birthday this year. Wahoo. And on the fall equinox, that veil between our world and the spirit world begins to thin out. And when we get to the night before Halloween, which is today, especially right at midnight tonight, that's when the veil gets to the thinnest point possible. And it lasts for several days. And that's why we have Halloween, which is actually Samhain or Samhain, which is spelled Samhain, which most people pronounce Samhain, but that's not proper. The actual proper pronunciation is Samhain or Samhain. And that goes back to our ancient ancestors. And then we have the Day of the Dead. We have both. We have November 1st and November 2nd, depending on the culture and what part of the world you live in. Still to this day, we have cultures that still practice and celebrate this particular week. In some cultures, it's a very huge, big celebration. No matter what culture it is, it's pretty much the same in the aspect that it's all about honoring our loved ones in spirit. It's all about honoring our loved ones in spirit. And when that veil is thin between our world and the spirit world, it makes it much, much easier for us to be able to communicate with spirit, just like it is for spirit to communicate with us. The legends of Halloween go back thousands of years. What is that noise? That's going to drive me crazy. That's going to drive me crazy. What is that noise? Let me turn on my love sign. What is that noise? That's going to drive me crazy. Sorry, folks. Sorry. So Halloween, All Hallows Eve. Actually, where's my book at? I want to show you a really awesome book that I highly recommend if you want to learn a little bit more about the actual true meaning of many of the holidays and where they were derived from. Give me 1 second. Go over here to my bookshelf and let's see if I have it here. I don't see my book here. Darn. Oh, here it is. I got it. This book is awesome. And actually, back in the day, Dan and Pauline Campanelli were dear friends. I would love to know what happened to them. I should someday take a drive up there and drop in on them. They probably don't even remember me anymore. Ancient Ways by Dan and Pauline Campanelli. Some of you, if you're up to par on the art world and into art and artists, especially Pauline, but both of them are very famous artists. They didn't have to write these books. They make enough money off of their art prints and art paintings that, believe me, they don't have to probably even have to work. What's awesome about Dan and Pauline is Dan and Pauline live the way our ancestors lived. Dan found this old farmhouse out in the middle of in Jersey, not far from the Delaware River. When he bought the house, he said there was a tree growing right through the house. Dan took that house by himself pretty much and rebuilt the whole house the way it was when it was originally built. And then he added on an addition, which he took trees that he cut down from the property and made like a cabin kind of, it was like basically like a cabin. Place is amazing. And that's how they live. The man has the coolest cars, old cars. He has a wind up Ford car. So cool. But great, amazing people. Her art prints, I would be willing to bet that she probably did the cover of this book, actually. This book talks about a lot of the ancient celebrations, and some people might say pagan celebrations, and that's a word that people have a total misconception of, thanks to Hollywood and Christianity. The word pagan means people of the land, people who live off the land. Whereas nowadays, you say the word pagan, and people automatically, especially people that are like really diehard Christians or radical Christians or born again Christians, will say, oh, that's devil worship or that's Satanism. So wrong. Look up the definition of pagan. It's people of the land. Our ancient ancestors, all of our ancient ancestors, all of you out there, all of us stem back to the same period of time. We all have the same ancestry that goes back thousands of years that practiced mainly the celebration of the changing of the seasons. The winter solstice, summer solstice, spring equinox, fall equinox, the moon phases, the full moon, the new moon. There's a few other holidays thrown in between, like Beltane, which is May 2nd, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm a little tired, so give me a moment to think about that. Yeah, I think it's May 2nd is Beltane. I'm pretty sure about that. And then we have, of course, Samhain, or Halloween, in the Day of the Dead, which is an awesome time of year. I've had several phone calls to my office already this year from people that I think that they need a smudging, a clearing because they have a lot of activity in their house, ghosts. Anytime anybody asks me about ghosts in their house, first question I ask people is, how long did you live there for? Have you lived there 6 months or longer? The answer is yes. The easiest response to that is if it was bad or negative in any way whatsoever, you would not be living in that house anymore. You would not be there at all. That thing would have got rid of you because there's different levels of spirits, spirit hauntings. Spirits can attach to people, places, and things. Most commonly, we know of, places, houses that are haunted. But I've come across a lot of what I call wandering spirits, wandering ghosts who are attached to the land, especially like where I live. This was all farmland. I mean, I'm sure most of the United States actually. But where I live in Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia, this place, as it goes back very far, and it's a very haunted area. This county that I live in is one of the most haunted counties in all of the United States. This area goes back to the Revolutionary War and George Washington. So, so sometimes spirits attached to the land, especially if they own the farm and they had a farmland, they're attached to the land, so they wander. So now you have a little section of houses like where I live, and probably where many of you live, and the spirits are attached to the land, so they wander from house to house. They're wanderers. They're harmless. Like I said, if there was somebody that wanted to harm you, you would know if you lived in that house 6 months or longer. I do three different types of levels of clearings. I do a basic smudging, which most of the time I talk people out of it and tell, you want to pay me $100 to come do it when you can do it yourself. I find it much more powerful if you do it yourself anyway. Then the level two is when you have stuff that really needs to go. Level three is really intense, and I try to avoid that as well. That's some bad stuff. And I don't like to expose myself to stuff like that if I don't have to, unless kids are involved. So they're the three different levels of clearings. And actually, I brought my little handy sage with me in my sage dish because most people have a total misconception of smudging as well. And the whole point of this live broadcast tonight is to honor Halloween, our ancestors and loved ones. So if together we could put out that intention right now, together, our intention tonight is to open up and connect with our deceased loved ones, to honor them in any way whatsoever that we can honor them together, to for me to be able to share whatever knowledge that spirit brings through for me to share with you all, and for you to utilize that knowledge over the first next couple days so that you can make a connection to your deceased loved ones as well, because you can do it. You have the ability. We're all psychic. We're all mediums. We all have the ability to communicate with spirit. But it does not mean that you're supposed to do it on a professional level, as I do, as I've been doing. I can't even believe how long I've been doing this work. Since I was 19 is when I first started professionally. I just turned 47 last month. So I've been doing this work for a very long time. I didn't start off as mediumship, though. I started out reading tarot cards when I was 13 years old. I used to read friends, family. I remember calling my friend to hang out, and his mom would always be in the background. Tell him to bring his cards. So I predicted my best friend in high school, all their babies, all their marriages, all their divorces, just pretty much everything. I remember his dad used to walk by the table when we were in the kitchen reading the cards. While I was reading the cards, and we were in the kitchen, his dad would go by and go do 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 and make fun of it all the time and make fun of me. Didn't believe in any of that. And I remember telling his wife, my friend's mother, that somebody was going to fall off the roof and get hurt. And maybe about a month later, he went to go. My friend's dad went to go on the roof to do some kind of fix a patch or something. And his wife said, "Don't you go on that roof. It came up in the cards. Someone's going to fall off the roof." I don't believe in that hocus pocus crap, he says. Don't you know he fell off the roof, got hurt, was in the hospital a couple of days. Do you know every time I read cards after that at the house, he never would walk out of the living room. He'd be like, "Let me know when you're all done." Never would walk by again. It's kind of funny. So going back to that time period, also I used to be a high priest in a Wiccan coven. I don't do that anymore. I don't practice that particular religious practice. I am a very eclectic, as I like to consider myself, very eclectic as far as my spirituality is concerned. That's another misconception I find people have is with spirituality. A lot of people, especially in the realm of psychics and mediums, because like I said, we're all psychic, we're all mediums, we all have that ability, but not supposed to do it on a professional level. And when I was younger and I had an ego as big as my house, thank God I got rid of that little son of a gun. I thought I knew everything. And I thought that I had a gift, and people would tell me that all the time. You're so gifted. You have such a gift. And I would just feed my ego more and more and more and more. Now, when people say that to me, you have a gift. I'm like, no, I don't call it a gift. I have heightened abilities. Calling it a gift to me is saying it's egotistical. It's the ego getting in the way. It's basically saying that the divine, God, Goddess, divine source gave me something that he didn't give you or anybody else. The divine, we're all created equally. What I have is heightened abilities that I was born with that I couldn't ignore if I tried. Water signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio also most often have heightened abilities as well. Even though I'm Virgo, 2.5 hours away from being a Libra, my moon sign is in Cancer. That's where all my psychic intuition is highlighted. Plus, I have water all throughout my astrological chart. But again, I was born with heightened abilities I couldn't ignore if I tried. Also, I thought that psychic abilities was like this bottle right here. I have this bottle and you don't. This is a special bottle. This is a special bottle that God only gave a few of us on this planet. This bottle, this is my psychic intuition bottle. But in reality, like I said, I told you I had an ego as big as this house. You have this bottle. The thing is it's so far in your cabinet in the back, covered in dust, that you forgot that it existed. All you got to do is pull it out, clean it up, work with it a little bit, and you're good to go. We all have that intuition. The key to it all is meditation. Meditation is the number one key to opening up and developing and working with your own intuition. For the longest time, because of what I was taught when I was younger, that you're not supposed to read your own tarot cards, you can't read your own tarot cards, you can't read yourself, and that you're not supposed to use this work for yourself. I believe that for the longest time, and I did not listen to my intuition or anything for only about the past, what is it? We're 2017, so the past 5 years is when I started to try to work on utilizing that for myself. After I went through a major transformation, ended an 8-year relationship, worked really hard on myself the past few years, clearing away negative people, places, and things. It's a continuous job, constantly working on myself. It's only since then that I really started to take my own advice. Things come up at readings all the time from spirit. I love it because there's things that come through all the time. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm going to use that for myself. And I do. Yesterday, I did a big event, my Halloween event. I do it every year up here. It was my 10th annual. I think there was like 170 people there. I do a meditation before doing my connection readings with clients, which I'm going to take you all into this evening. My intention was only to do one meditation, and this whole live broadcast this evening was actually not my idea, but I think it's a great idea. And my plan was to start, as I promised y'all earlier in the year, but it's been a really busy year. Been doing a lot of work with myself. And when it's warm out and I'm like, love being outside in the garden, I neglect it, y'all. I neglected the computer, but now we're going into the cold season and I hibernate. So you're going to probably get tired of me by the time spring comes because I'll be here constantly putting out videos and doing all kinds of things. My intention is to do a live broadcast at least once every 2 weeks. I'm going to try to get it out there once a week. I will be back here again next week. This is a special broadcast. I don't believe I'm going to be doing them on Monday nights normally. This is just tonight because Halloween's tomorrow. I thought about doing it on Halloween night, but I have ceremony and all to do, and people are out with their kids, and I want you to benefit from this tonight so you can utilize it tonight and tomorrow for yourself. So you can open up and connect with your loved ones yourself and honor them in your own way. Again, the key is meditation is the key to it all. The first key, the main key. The other key to your intuition and working with that and utilizing it for your own benefit is honoring your spirit guides, angels, and allies. We have a huge team of spirit guides, angels, and allies. They're not people you know that died and became your guides. Our guides are on a higher level, closer to the divine. Some of them don't have a physical form to them, and we all have a master guide. I was taught somewhere along the line that we're not supposed to give the names to our spirit guides. I don't know where I learned that. It's been in my head forever, decades. So I don't. I have a couple guides like we have a master guide who's like the CEO of our spirit guides, and my master guide has a common everyday name like Anthony, but he has no physical form. He's a ball of light. He's only ever showed up to me maybe twice, and he shows up as energy, a ball of energy. Where I have another guide, um, that's actually a fairy. And when she came to me in my meditation, I actually didn't believe it. That's the other thing. I used to be, when I was younger, the type of person that you had to prove things to me for me to believe it. And actually, it's only been the past few years that I kind of got finally to the point where I don't question anything anymore, because every time I do, spirit shoves it in my face and like, yep, yeah, it's possible. So I don't question anything anymore. Excuse me, let me get some water. I love me some water. So yeah, I don't question anything anymore because spirit does a hell of a job. So when we're on our spiritual journey, we can get different guides that come along, kind of like an award, like getting to a certain level, and you get like your degree. And I was in meditation one day, and the most cutest little fairy came flying along in my meditation. She told me her name. It's a J-O name. She makes Tinkerbell look ugly because she's so darn cute. And I question it. I'm like, really, a fairy, a fairy spirit guide? I mean, and I've seen fairies. Fairies do exist. And say it's crazy all you want. I was on the Appalachian Trail, upstate Massachusetts, and I had the honor of them allowing me to see them. When you see them, it's only because they allow you to. So they exist. I wouldn't have believed it. And that's the other thing. Again, I've always been the type, you have to prove things to me for me to believe it. So for me to believe it, believe me, Spirit's done a heck of a job of proving it to me. So this fairy comes along, tells me her name, didn't quite believe it. But she was there every time I meditated. So I went to get some IET work done, integrated energy therapy. Integrated energy therapy, IET, and shamanic energy work is what I like to refer to as the auto mechanics for your soul. My own personal belief is that every human should treat energy work like they do the dentist. Everybody should go get energy work done at least once every 6 months. They are the auto mechanics of your soul. They go in, cut things out, take things out, fix things, align things, and send you on your way. I've had sessions done, especially both, but especially shamanic sessions, where my life changed like that. Bizarre. The first time I had it done was, God, probably 25 years ago, 25 years ago. And it actually freaked me out so bad that it took me 15 years to go back to a shaman again. It was all good, though, all really good. Walked away from a life you don't walk away from. It was amazing, amazing. And doing this work and learning the hard way, I've come across a lot of spirit attachments, all kinds of amazing experiences, which is important. That's where the meditation and connecting with your spirit guides and angels come in. So I went for an IET session, and I'm laying on the table, and Mary Lou, who's a dear friend of mine, I didn't tell her anything about this fairy in my meditation, nothing. I'm laying on her table, and she starts giggling. I'm like, "What's funny, Mary Lou?" "You have the cutest little fairy dancing on your chest." I'm like, "Oh no, I don't." "Oh yes, you do." I'm like, "Oh no, I don't." Oh, she's like, "Oh yeah, she's so cute." So she goes around the table and does what she does, her IET, and she makes sometimes sounds and chants and such. She walks around this table, she keeps going, ja, 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 and then she goes, Joe, 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 and then she spit out the fairy's name. And let me tell you, the fairy's name is not a common everyday name that you would hear. It's a name that you may have heard before, but it's not a common name you would hear commonly at all. And for her to be able to pull that name out and attach it to the fairy on top of it, there's no denial. There's just no way I could ever possibly deny that. I'd be crazy to deny that. It gets even better because not maybe I don't know, a year later or so, in my meditation after Prince died, and any of y'all that follow my YouTube page, if you go and look for my Prince video, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it because I had no intention of making that video. I had no intention of looking for anything in Prince's death. It all came to me in meditation the weekend that he died. He died, what, I think Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And then the world lit up Friday purple. So that weekend, I received a whole download of information from Spirit, which started with Archangel Ezekiel and my meditation, and it just blew my mind. And I was pushed to do that video. So in the video, when I was that weekend, my fairy guide came to me in my meditation, all dressed in purple, all decked out in purple to honor Prince and the whole meaning behind his death, and told me that I should wear purple to honor Prince as well. So I went again to get some IET work done, and I'm laying on the table again. And Mary Lou says, "Oh, your little cute little fairy's here." And she's all decked out in purple to honor Prince. And I was hysterically laughing. How would she know that? Like how? And again, placed it with the fairy and such. It's just amazing. I tell you this story because they're telling me to tell you this story to show you that you all have spirit guides. We all do. We have a huge, gigantic team of spirit guides. And the okay, okay, I got you. They're poking me. Tell them this. Tell them this. So the biggest thing that I had with my guides for the longest time was I was trying and so focused on what are their names and what do they look like? What's your name? What do you look like? What's your name? What you look like? Instead of being more focused on, their existence and working with them. And I would ask them over and over again for a name or some kind of form of what they look like. And suddenly I started getting the response from them. You don't need to know our names or what we look like. You just need to acknowledge that we're here. I'm like, whatever. So it was right after that I went to my first shaman for my first shamanic experience, and it was a male and female, and I sat on the floor with them, and she asked me, "What's your intention today?" At the time, I had no idea what the heck an intention was. I'm like, "What's that?" Now I feel kind of so less than smart looking back at that. But again, this was like 20, 25 years ago. What's your intention? I'm like, I didn't know I was supposed to have an intention. She's like, well, what did you come here for? I'm like, I came here because my friend asked me to come, and because I guess spirit already knows what's going to happen. So that's how I kind of figured I'm here, and spirit brought me here. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I said, but if you can find a name or a physical look as to my spirit guides, I would greatly appreciate that. They go in their meditation, do their little thing, come out. She giggles. Whenever they giggle, I know they got something. I said, what's funny? She said, oh, your spirit guides have a message for you. I'm like, oh, great. What is it? Do you have a name? Do you have a face? She said, your spirit guides told me to tell you that you don't need to know what they look like. You just need to acknowledge that they're there. I could have died. I'm like, damn it. They've been telling me that for the past couple months. So after I stopped focusing so hard on who they are, what they look like, I found out shortly later that two of the spirit guides I have, especially my master guide, I knew who they were for the longest time. I worked with them for the longest time. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I used to do a spiritual gathering with friends every weekend in Philly. And I used to do channeling. Channeling is when the spirit, you step out of your body and the spirit steps in and speaks through you. And I channeled two spirits. One was an indigenous native who spoke no English whatsoever. I don't speak native English, native language, and I don't chant native language. And they would record it. And when I listened to the recording, I didn't even believe it was me because it didn't sound like me. And I don't speak native language. Well, later on, I found out they were my spirit guides. Again, I share all this with you because my guides are asking me to share this with you because this is a big part of the process tonight. And trying to educate you and getting you to open up and work with your guides because your psychic abilities, your intuition, the little bottle here, is actually your spirit guides talking to you. So it's not a thing like I thought, like this bottle. Your intuition is actually your spirit guides telling you what you should do. Your first instinct is always 100% correct. So how many times have you said to yourself, I knew I should have did that. I knew I should have went that way. We do it all the time, right? Well, that's because your intuition tells you what you're supposed to do. But we all have balance, good and bad, positive, negative, yin and yang. The good, the positive, the yin is team spirit. Well, I call mine team spirit. Go. Is your spirit guides, angels, and allies. The opposite, the dark, the yang, the negative is what I call the two devils on your shoulder, which is the fear and ego. Fear and ego talk you out of everything all the time. That's why you catch yourself saying, I knew I should have did that. I knew I should have went that way. Now that you know this and know that your first instinct's 100% correct, and those voices that pop up in your head that sound like you're talking to yourself is not you, it's coming from your spirit guides, sometimes your deceased loved ones. Now you know that, you can start going with your first instinct. Now you know those little devils stand on your shoulder and yell in your ear, nah, don't do that, do this, ha ha ha. You can tell them to go back to the darkness, go with your first instinct, and you'll start making better decisions and going down a better direction in your future. That's the other thing, actually, is the future, destiny. I'm going to actually give me one moment. I'm going to pop in the chat room real quick. There we go. Let's see here. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I'm very excited to be here doing the live broadcast that I plan on doing every other week or sometimes every week. So make sure you go down and subscribe to my YouTube page. Really important. Someone asked me along the line, I think on Facebook, if I was going to do a live Facebook feed. And actually, that's a pretty good idea that I could probably pop on there while I'm doing this from my phone. Give me just 1 second to do that. Yeah, so subscribe to my page down below. Go to my website, josephtittle.com, where you can subscribe to my newsletter that I send out. I try to get one out every month. In the summertime, I only send one out. But my newsletter, I do a monthly inspirational message that I channel through from my spirit guides. To oh boy, we have the wonderful Bible thumpers in here. We're all Satan worshipers. Did y'all know that we're all Satan worshipers? Boy, oh boy, do your educate yourself, South Carolina. Educate yourself. Satan doesn't exist. The devil doesn't exist. It was a made-up character by Christianity. Satanism, the Satanism actually didn't even come about to the 1960s when Anton LaVey created the Satanic Church in Los Angeles, California, in the Satanic Bible. Prior to that, Satanism did not exist. Like I said, educate yourself. Do your research. Now, Lucifer, on the other hand, Lucifer does exist. So do dark energies and demons, but the devil, so to speak, or Satan, so to speak, no, not existing. There's lots of dark energies, though, lots of demons. Don't get me wrong. And Satan worship, again, didn't start till the 1960s. I can't remember if it was 1962 or 1968. I can't remember. Let's see here. Let me go live on Facebook, too, if I can figure out how to do that. Hey there. There we go. I think that's it. Oh, wait. I should probably wait, finish. Give me 1 second, folks. My apologies. While I'm actually sitting here chatting with y'all, we're going to do a meditation in a few minutes. So I highly recommend that you find yourself a comfortable position. I don't know if you're watching me on your phone or on your computer, but if you have a headset, sometimes it's much better to listen with a headset. I was kind of thinking about doing the music in the background while I do the meditation, but I don't know how that's going to really work out through this live broadcast. So therefore, I kind of I'm hesitant to do that because I want this meditation to be, the best I could possibly provide for y'all, especially being that Spirit has directed me to do this. All right, there we go. Live on. There we go. Let's see here. Hopefully these folks can see me and hear me. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody on YouTube. And hi, everybody on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, you should scoot on over to my YouTube page. I'm only doing this a few times on Facebook Live for now until I get y'all over to my YouTube page because it's too much to do both at the same time. I will not be looking at the chat on Facebook. I will only be looking at the chat on YouTube. So, So let's see here. Oh, wait, I just lost all y'all in my chat room. There you all are. This is a little odd. And again, bear with me. This is the first time I've done this. Well, no, it's not the first time. Excuse me. Besides my predictions, this is the first time I've done this besides my live prediction show. Yes, you think I predicted Las Vegas. I actually definitely did predict Las Vegas pretty much to the T, which is very creepy. It's one of them things in my predictions I wish I didn't predict. And my prediction show this year on January 1st will go much different than it did last year. Remember, again, this year was my first time doing it on video on YouTube. So this year it'll flow much better. It won't be as long. I'll do a better breakdown and such. So I'll make it much, much better than I did last year. With experience, things get better. So going back to our spirit guides, our angels, and everything I was telling you about. Actually, where can I put this where it's better? Give me 1 second here. How about like that? Is that better? That's better. There we go. A little bit of light. There we go. I think I look better on Facebook than I do on YouTube. Maybe it's the computer. I look chubby on this YouTube video. I don't on Facebook video. So anyway, hi, Facebook people. Go to my YouTube page if you want to chat because I'm not paying attention to the chat on here. We're talking about Halloween, and I'm going to guide you all into a meditation in just a little bit. So I highly recommend that you get yourself into a comfortable place where you'll be uninterrupted. I'm actually going to do two meditations tonight. It wasn't my intention to do two meditations. My intention to only do one for helping you to open up to connect with your deceased loved ones and such for Halloween. But then Spirit was telling me a little while ago, well, a lot of these people don't know how to meditate to begin with. And so therefore you should do the meditation that you do when you do connection readings and connection clients. And of course, Spirit's always right. It drives me crazy. They're always right. They never lie. They haven't lied to me in 3 decades. They're not going to now. And they're always right. So when I'm wrong, it's my misinterpretation of a message because they're always right. That's why I keep asking them, where's my lottery numbers? And my mother, because my mother's been around like crazy lately. And my mom's been going 18 years this year. This actually a couple weeks ago it was 18 years and my mother passed. I can't believe it's been that long. It feels like it was just yesterday. So she's been around a lot lately. At first, I thought, why are you around? You trying to tell me something? Then I realized, oh, that's right. The veils between the worlds is thin for starters. It's a busy time for me. My family that's still alive, the little family I have that I can count on one hand, is not very nice to me. Very hurtful, like to cause pain and harm into my life. So that's probably another reason why my mother been around a lot lately. So it's nice to have her around to know it. But no, same with you folks. When you feel somebody pops up in your mind out of the blue and you get the goosey bumps, the hair stands up on your neck, or you start to cry or get emotional, it's because your deceased loved one is right there at your side when you think of them. Our loved ones are always up here in spirit, up above. They see everything going on. And I know it's hard for us to comprehend like how they do that, but they can see everything in our lives all the time. I should actually give me one second. Oh, I dropped the mic. They can see everything in our lives all the time. And every once in a while, and they could be in more than one place at one time too. So every once in a while, your deceased loved ones come down at your side. That's when you think of them out of the blue. You get the goosey bumps. I say goosey bumps. Hair stands up on your neck. You start to get emotional. Us humans have a habit of always responding with emotion. And that's because they're right at your side. You'll notice, especially after I tell you this, that it happens most commonly when you're in the car driving. They love to drive in the cars with us. It's one of the number one places you'll find a connection from your deceased loved ones is in the car driving. Very most common place for a connection from your loved ones in spirit. Oh, gross. Oh, it's warm and cold and gross. Oh, I can't believe I just drank that. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. We're talking about Halloween in a moment. We're talking about connecting with your spirit guides and also, more than anything, your ability to be psychic and communicate with spirit yourself because we're all psychic, we're all mediums, we all have that ability. Even though that when I was younger and people told me I had a gift and I used to feed my ego and I used to think that, oh, yeah, well, definitely. And I have something that nobody else has, which is true, but not true. It's not a gift, it's heightened abilities that I couldn't ignore if I tried. The more you meditate, the more you honor your guides, the stronger it gets. It doesn't mean that you can't connect on your own yourself. Again, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to be a professional medium. And that's the thing. The awakening on the planet started really kicked into gear on December 21st, 2012. The awakening of humanity is all about the awakening and raising our consciousness in hopes to bring us all together in pure love. And in order for that to happen, the issues that are keeping us apart have to come to light. That's why we had a big energy shift in August. And these energy shifts are also all about, first of all, clearing things away, getting rid of, letting go. The energy is there to assist us in doing so. And then also the energy is there to awaken us and, raise our consciousness a bit. So it makes sense that the shift started the last one, July 24th to August 17th. I'm not sorry, July 24th till September 19th. August 5th to the 21st was the super intense period. August 5th is when it went super intense. August 7th or 8th is when all that racism stuff came up in the United States. It makes sense because that's one of the things that keeps people apart. These issues need to come to light. Well, folks, we got another one of those big shifts coming up really soon, November 14th, all the way till January. December is going to be the intense month. December 4th to the 17th is going to be the super intense period. So get ready for that. Going back to your guides and angels and allies. Allies are guides that we get from every dimensional kingdom. So you have animal guides, plant guides, insect guides. When you learn to do trance meditation, transcendental meditation, and shamanic journey work, you actually go into the upper or underworlds and you can communicate with these guides to answer questions, to help you with different aspects of your life. Sometimes like a friend will call me up and say, I have this going on. Can you do a journey for me? And I'll go into my meditation and go into either the upper or underworld and connect with guides. One of my favorites was actually the talking tree. I went into the underworld. Somebody asked me to do a journey for her, and I went into down these tunnels, and I went on this boat with this Grim Reaper dude with no face. I think he was the Grim Reaper actually. I got off, went down this tunnel, opened up a door, and there was this big, beautiful oak tree. It looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. It was gorgeous. I turned around and closed the door behind me. When I turned back around, its eyes opened up and started talking to me. I'm like, oh my God, a talking tree. You got to be kidding me. Just like the fairy guide that I told you all about. And the tree, everything it said to me made complete sense to the person that I took that information to. And when I told her it came from a tree, that also made sense to her. I'm glad it made sense to her. It didn't make sense to me. So that's the guides that you have. Also, your guides try to get your attention, your allies, your animal and insect guides, especially. So if anything crosses your path, it's trying to tell you something. It's trying to get your attention. So if you're driving down the road and a fox runs across the street, it's trying to tell you something. Now, if you drive down the road and a squirrel runs across the street, you see that probably every day. But if you have two or three in one day, yeah, it's trying to tell you something. Now we have Google. Back in the day, I used to have to run home and go into my symbol books and hope that it was in one of my symbol books. Now all you got to do is go on Google and type in what is the spiritual meaning of blank. It'll make complete sense to what's going on in your life currently, most cases, or what's been going on recently, what's coming up, and very often will give you advice to utilize to help you at the current phase of your life. Just like your deceased loved ones, the more you honor this and your guides, the more you actually receive from them. So, like if a light flickers and whoever pops up in your mind first, without searching and hoping that it's always who you want it to be, you got to be open because it's not always going to be who you hope it to be. We get visits from everybody, not just one. Because I used to relate everything to my mother. And then one day my grandmother came in with her hand on her hip, visual as could be. Remember me, she says. Not everything's your mother, she says. And I learned from grandmama that it isn't. So whoever pops up in your mind, thanks, mom, thanks, dad. The more you do that and honor that, the more they're going to send you. Same with your guides. The more you honor them, the more you thank them for their guidance, the more they're going to give you. So when your animal allies and insect allies appear and cross your path or appear in front of your path, and you look that up and research it and honor it, the more they're going to send you. If you come home, open up your front door, and there's a praying mantis on your door, it's waiting for you. It's there for you. You're walking on the sidewalk, and there's a frog on your sidewalk. It's there for you. Look it up, honor it, thank the spirit of it. Better yet, go and do a meditation with the intention of connecting with that ally. So if it's a fox that you keep seeing that keeps running across your car, look it up. My favorite website is called whatsyournumber.com, and there's a dash in between each one. What's your number.com. She's my favorite. I love her meanings for everything. She'll come up when you type in what's the spiritual meaning of blank. So again, pay attention to that. It's really, really important. Apparently, if you're here tonight, your guides brought you to this space. This isn't what I was intending on talking about right away. I was going to keep this short and sweet, but apparently that's not going to happen. Thanks, Spirit. My day off, right? After working and killing myself the past week. But whatever, it's an honor to be here with you all tonight anyway. So Halloween, going back to that. So you know a little bit about your spirit guides now. Honoring your spirit guides, how do you do that? Well, it's different for everybody. And again, spirituality to me is a lifestyle that starts with first meditation, daily meditation, prayer in your own way, whatever works for you, honoring whatever deities you pray to or whatever guides you pray to. And that's the basis of platform for spirituality and a spiritual life. I've come across so many people that do psychic work or psychic mediums that say they're spiritual. And I have more spirituality in my pinky toe. Like seriously, I remember working with this one psychic years ago. We would switch events. She would open up at my events for me, and I would open up at hers. There was never a money exchange. It was just a balance of exchanging, an energy balance, and exchanging services for each other. Gotta light some sage. And I remember we did an event. I was opening up for her in Princeton, and I'll never forget this as long as I live because it was the last time I ever talked to her again. And we were sitting there, and there was a news reporter that was there from I think the Princeton Packet at the time, And this is her event. I open up for her. That's the way it is. And she says, "Oh well, this guy from reporters here from the Princeton Packet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go out and talk first." I'm like, "What? Aren't I supposed to open up for you?" "Oh well, he has to leave. He can't be here the whole event. So I'll go out and talk for a little bit, and then let you go out so he can get to see both of us." I'm like, "Okay, whatever. It's your event. Whatever you want to do." I said, "Well, I'm going to go meditate." And she says, "You meditate?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "What do you mean, do I meditate?" I'm like, "Don't you?" She's like, "You're just in it for the money." And I was just floored by that. I'm like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Yeah, you're just in it for the money." I'm like, "I'm in it for the money. If I was in it for the money, I wouldn't be here unless you were paying me. You're not paying me to be here. I do fundraisers and don't make a penny from it. If I was in it for the money, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be giving away free readings to people I need." I was just stunned by the whole entire thing. And then when I said, "Don't you meditate?" She's like, "No, I don't. I don't meditate. I don't need to meditate." I'm like, "Meditation is the key to it all. How can you not meditate?" Then she went out and started to do whatever she does. I don't even know if she did any readings. I can't remember. And I remember because I was with my partner at the time, and I remember she purposely was stretching out the time to not let me get out on the stage to do my round, because she didn't want the reporter to see me do my thing. I guess now looking back, I guess she was intimidated and knew that I'm the one that meditates, leads a spiritual life, and she's the one that's probably in it for the money. And I'm still stunned that she said she didn't meditate. That just blows my mind. And says that she's spiritual. Again, yep, you're spiritual. Don't even pray or meditate. So she stretched it out on purpose, waiting for the reporter to leave so that I wouldn't be able to be up on stage and for him to be able to see me. As soon as he got up and left, she introduced me. And I remember my partner at the time laughed. He's like, she that was on purpose." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know. No big deal. I'm not worried about it. I don't. It's not a big deal." Thank goodness, because it's a Princeton Packet ended up doing an article all about her, nothing about me, thank God. And it was trashing her, totally trashing her, calling her a cold reader and all this. I'm like, wow, that is karma. So, again, people's perception of spirituality is quite different. I've come to find. And it saddens me that the spiritual community, which is supposed to be a spiritual community, I find that you find some of the most egotistical people. It really breaks my heart and saddens me. So it doesn't really matter what circle you're in, they're everywhere. People are people, humans are humans, just doesn't matter. And you just have to either accept somebody the way they are. And if you don't accept them, then don't be their friend. Don't be a part of their lives. It's pretty simple. Just like I mentioned, the stress that I've endured lately because of family, which sadly are mostly all dead. I can count the living ones on one hand. When I started my big, I call it my big purification in my life, clearing away all negative people, places, and things, and working really hard on myself the best I can. I drew a circle around myself energetically and said, I'm not allowing that in my life anymore. Meaning the drama, the negativity, the hurt and pain that was constantly being brought to me, or trying to be brought to me. I learned that when people hurt our feelings, make us angry, make us sad, whatever, it's actually because we allow them to do so. You got to get to a point where you just don't allow that to happen anymore. And those that do, if you don't accept who they are or what they are, and you just get mad and angry all the time or upset with these people, then you shouldn't have these people in your life at all. There's other people out there. You have to clear your energy, clear yourself. So meditation, my friends. Let's actually talk a little bit about Halloween before I tell you about this meditation that I'm going to guide you into. Guided meditation, first of all, is the best way of learning how to meditate. And again, the veil, some of you are just joining us, so I'm just going to touch base on that a little bit. And once this video is done, I'll edit it so that it's shorter, and so that any of the mumbo jumbo can be cut out for those who missed any of it, or those of y'all that come in later or over the next few weeks to watch the video. Because this video is focused on Halloween and Samhain and the whole celebration of that. But at the same time, it's a bit about meditation and your psychic abilities and such too. So you can benefit from this no matter what. So honoring, again, meditation is the key to your intuition and opening up, but also honoring your spirit guides, angels, and allies. And you do that very simply. That's why we create an altar that should face east, always should face east. If you ever buy a house, your house should face east too, just like the ancient pyramids and all the ancient structures. I'm just pulling up my book here. So yeah, your altar should face east. You should have statues on there, whoever you pray to, deities. I have the Divine Mother on my altar. I have a little statue of Archangel Raphael because he represents the east in the element of air. So I have him on my altar. I have the ancient Egyptian goddess Isis because I work with her, the Egyptian god Anubis, Horus, Osiris, my dog's ashes, my ritual tools, my sage dish, my athame, um, crystals, stuff like that. It's personable. You make it the way you wanted to make it. If you do ceremony, you'll have your ceremonial tools on there. But this is a place you go to on a daily basis to do your prayer and your meditation. And what happens is you create an energy within that circle and space, and magical, amazing energy, actually. And I know that like I have a vortex of energy around my house, but also the room where I do all my readings and connections for clients over the phone and in person, that has an energy of itself because that's where my main altar is, and that's where I do most of my meditation, prayer, and ceremony. And I often can see people hesitate before they step into that room. It's actually kind of funny to watch and witness. And then I have, friends and people that say, "Aren't you worried about having people, strange people, come to your house and doesn't that make you nervous?" I'm like, no, because I've been doing it forever. Number one, number two, I carry, so I'm not worried about it. There's a gun next to my bed. There's a gun there. We need to be safe nowadays. I don't like guns, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. I live alone. My dog isn't going to be a great help. She's just little. She's not huge. So, um, and more than anything, I believe that spirit brings the people to me, and I feel honored of anybody that comes into my space. And I believe that spirit's not going to bring me anybody that has ill intent or ill harm. So, I'm not worried about it. You worry about it, then you're going to create that, make that happen. So you create your altar, your space where you go, and you create the energy in that space, and it becomes your space. It becomes your magical space. And that's where you go to honor your guides. In certain traditions, like the shamanic tradition, they leave offerings. You ever go to a shrine and at the base of the shrine at the feet, like, you see a shrine of the Divine Mother, for example, at the base of feet, you see lots of like coins that people leave behind, little things that are left there. They're offerings. Because when you do a prayer, you're supposed to leave an offering behind, just like the ancient shamanic traditions, which predates all of it. You leave an offering. In the shamanic tradition, tobacco is what is used for the offering because there's a spirit of every living thing on the planet. There's a spirit of this here sage. Where'd my crystal go? There's a spirit of this here crystal, hematite. There's a spirit of the flower, a spirit that represents the land in which we reside on. And you want to honor those spirits, of course. But there's a spirit of tobacco. And the tobacco spirit is very powerful, very protective spirit. And that's why it's hard to quit smoking because it wraps around and it clings on and it holds. And the tobacco is most commonly used by the indigenous cultures as an offering. What you do is you say your prayer, you hold your offering up in the air of the tobacco, and then if you're outside, you sprinkle it. Inside on my altar, I have a little basket that I put the tobacco in, and at the end of the day or end of the week, I go outside and sprinkle it. And that's the offerings that you leave. When I do readings for people, I do an offering for both. I call on my spirit guides, angels, and allies, ancestors, and loved ones. Then I call on the loved ones and ancestors of those that I'm going to connect with for clients. I do an offering to them. Then I call on the deities that I work with: Isis, Osiris, Anubis, Horus, the Divine Mother, Jesus. I call on all of them. And then the universe, which to me is the divine creator: God, Goddess, divine creator, source, whatever you want to refer to it as. And I offer up offerings in all those aspects before I begin my work. And then I do it afterwards as well. So it's good to honor your guides and angels and allies. Again, the more you honor them, the more they're going to work with you. It's pretty simple. Just like, the more somebody complains every day, the more universe is going to give you to complain about. The more you honor your blessings and miracles every day, the more universe is going to bring you more blessings and miracles. It's pretty simple. But we humans have such a hard time doing it for some reason or another. So your intuition, you have the intuition. I was telling you that I never used it for myself because I thought we weren't supposed to. And about 4 years ago, just close to 5 years ago, after ending a long relationship, 8 years, and going through a really challenging time in my life, I decided to sit down and do a reading for myself with the tarot cards. But what I did is I sat down and pretended I was doing a phone reading for a client. I turned on my little recorder and I went and did the reading just like I was on the phone with a client. And then when I was done, I went back and listened to the recording. I was, oh my God, that's good. That's really good. Pinpointed everything. I need to find that actually now that we talk about that. So in that case, it worked because because if you read the cards to yourself, because I've met people over the years, oh, I read myself all the time. I'm like, really? First of all, you shouldn't, especially all the time. But we read into what we want to happen or what we're afraid is going to happen. We don't read in between the lines to the truth. That's the problem. And if you're, especially if you're a professional psychic and a medium, you shouldn't have to read yourself. At that point in time in my life, I did because I had so much going on, and I just felt like I needed it. Ever since, I think that's probably the only time I have since I started back in my teens. And if I felt like I needed reading, which is very rare, I would call like my friend Allison, the numerologist, and get a reading with her. So, sage, smudging, really important, big part of your altar. This is white sage, if you can actually see that. White sage grows in the high peak mountains of the Southwest. It's the best sage you can get, actually. Most of you probably are more familiar with the bundles of sage that are wrapped with the string. Um, that's kind of a cheaper sage. It does the job, but white sage is the best, absolute best. Also, there's something called Palo Santo root. I believe I might have some up here. There we go. Palo Santo is a wood. Comes from the indigenous cultures, indigenous people in the Peruvian rainforest who now bring this to the States. Um, Smells fabulous, actually. It actually smells like perfumey. This is also really potent and powerful. It's often more powerful than sage is. Both pretty equal, though. The only thing with this is it's very hard to keep it lit. It's the only problem. Really, really hard to keep it lit. This is a sage, a conch shell, seashell. When you smudge, you're supposed to honor the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. And this is where people go wrong, and they do it wrong most of the time. It's still going to work. If you light sage and go around the house, it will clear energy, but to do it properly and powerful, you have to do it correctly by honoring the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. So the conch shell itself, and you can actually buy these kits where it comes with the conch shell, comes with not this kind of feather. This is I got from the natives out west in Arizona, which I'm probably about due for a new one. The feather represents air, the element of air, and that's what you use to, blow the smoke on you. The conch shell represents the element of water. The sage itself represents earth, and then lighting it represents fire, the elements earth, air, fire, and water. When you smudge, first thing you're supposed to do is yourself. Most people don't smudge themselves. Most people just go take a piece of sage and go around the house. That's fine. Like I said, that'll work. But even in that case, still, you got to sage yourself. You must sage yourself. What's the use of saging if you got energy all around yourself? When you sage yourself, you start at your feet. The energy comes in from your left to the center and out to the right. So that's how the energy flows. So when you smudge, you want to do your left in, out to the center. And one of my friends laughed because she didn't think of this idea herself. To do the back of me, what I put the sage bowl behind me and I walk backwards. She's like, "That's a good idea." I'm like, "I thought so. How else are you supposed to do behind yourself?" And then you go around the house and you do it. You read a prayer. If you actually go to thespiritshop.net, through my website josephtittel.com, I actually sell the whole kit with the feather and the conch shell. I think it's like $9.95. Also, there was something else. Oh, if you go to my website and my blog, click on my blog, top left corner is a little search thing. Type in the word smudge, and you'll find an article I wrote probably 10 years ago on directions on how to smudge, because you definitely should smudge, especially, with this being Halloween. And if you're going to do a little ceremony for yourself, light a candle. I would highly recommend sage or Palo Santo for the process. I also highly recommend that you get yourself a good candle. The candles I like the best is, can you see behind me? See the, oh, let me just go grab it. Sorry, girl. Sorry, doggy. These candles in the glass, this is all I actually was able to get because they were out of the other ones. I usually get the Divine Mother, Jesus, or just plain ones. These are referred to as 7-day candles, except this isn't really a true 7-day candle because it came from Walmart. It's more like a 5-day candle. True 7-day candles are a little bit bigger and a little bit thicker than that. And the intention and the reason they call them 7-day candles is because when you light them, you're supposed to let them burn out completely for the whole 7 days. That's why they call them 7-day candles. If you have a religious store, they have some really good ones at the religious stores. Like the St. Jude store up here has great candles in the glass. I think they last more like 10 days. So that's proper. So I would highly recommend you get yourself a good candle. So Halloween, Samhain, which begins tonight right after midnight, the veil between our world and spirit world is really thin. But it was also believed by our ancient ancestors that darkness could come in. And that's why they would carve out actually apples and things and put candles in them uh, to scare away the dark energies. They didn't have pumpkins. Pumpkins are traditional to the United States. They didn't start doing pumpkin carving until United States came along. They did different things in Europe with our ancient ancestors who were the ones that traditionally celebrated the whole Samhain Halloween thing. Also, it is in the culture of those who celebrate Samhain and Halloween is it's actually New Year's Day. It's the end of their cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So I used to do a witch's ball every year, and as a part of that, in the ceremony we did, I'd have everybody write on a piece of paper their intentions for the new year, their goals for the new year. It's a great time to do it. That and your birthday are the two best times to put out intentions and goals that you want to manifest, because technically New Year's is for your life cycle in your life path is your birthday. Our life path goes from our birthday till the day before our birthday. That's why people's New Year's resolutions don't work out. It's not the time to do it unless your birthday is January 1st or 2nd. But also today is a great time to do it. Put out your intentions and do your little magic, light a candle. It's a great time for healing as well. Also, in ancient cultures, we leave out food for our loved ones in spirit. It's all about feasting and celebrating. I know that my fairy guide loves chocolate. I remember the first time she asked me for it and I put it outside. I got yelled at the next day. Hello, we're fairies. We can't eat that. You got to chop it up really small. I'm like, I did chop it up. It's not small enough. I'm like, I didn't think of that. A little fairy mouth, you know? So it's traditional to put food out, but light a candle, honor your loved ones in spirit. Really important. You honor them, you'll connect with them. And meditation and being open in meditation. So let me tell you about meditation so I can guide you into our first meditation tonight. Meditation, the three most important parts is proper posture, proper breathing, and intention. Intention is what are you meditating for? There's all kinds of reasons to meditate. I find that people have a total misconception of meditation, as did I 30 years ago. They think it's somebody that sits there like this with nothing on their mind whatsoever. Our mind is not programmed to go still. It's impossible. Your mind don't go still when you go to bed at night. You're not going to get it to go still when you're awake. Meditation is intention. What are you meditating for? Uh, to relieve stress and tension, to manifest something in your life, like a new car, new house, new job, new life, new wife, whatever, to connect with guides and angels, and so on. So, this first meditation, there's four intentions. And this is actually a balancing and healing of your energy that's going to take place, which is quite fabulous. I learned this whole meditation from my spirit guides, except for the grounding part. The grounding part is actually very common in the spiritual community. So, proper posture, especially with doing a grounding that we are, uh, either sitting yoga style on the ground or floor with your hands on your lap, palms facing upwards, back as aligned as possible. Or again, being that we're doing a grounding, it's important that you have contact with the ground or floor. So, sitting in a chair is fine, but with your feet flat on the floor, hands on the lap, palms facing upwards, back as aligned as possible. Proper breathing is to empty all the air out of your lungs. Take a deep breath in through your nose. When your lungs are filled with air, you hold that breath for 1 to 3 seconds. You'll come up with a number that's comfortable for you. Common is 2 or 3 seconds. Then you exhale all the air out of your lungs through your nose. When your lungs are empty, same process. You hold it for a couple seconds, whatever your number is, and then breathe back in. So it's a consistent pattern like that. Deep breaths in through the nose, deep breaths out through the nose, holding it for the full inhale and the full exhale for a couple seconds. Once you get into a relaxed state and a trance state, your breathing pattern will totally change, actually. Totally. Just like when you go to sleep at night. So, our intention to this meditation, this is actually three meditations that I put into one short meditation as directed to do so by my guides and angels about 4 years ago for my connection clients. Our intentions is to ground our energy, number one. Number two is to open up the heart and heart center and clear negative emotions. Number three is to invoke Archangel Michael and Raphael, who will enshroud us with their light and energy, which is a big part of the healing and balancing of your energy. And then the fourth intention is just a part of this meditation, and that's you calling and honoring your loved ones in spirit by mentioning them in your mind and visualize them the best you can remember. Uh, so this meditation starts off with a relaxation technique, starting at your feet, working up to the top of your head, and then counting you from 5 to 1. In between that period is the first big part of your healing and balancing of your energy. So there's an energy that runs up your spine like a river, and it goes from your tailbone straight up through the top of your head, all the way up to the heavens like a big pillar of light. At the top of your head, it comes out like a water spout, and it goes about 2 inches past your fingertips, all the way up, around, all the way around you. That's your aura. We all have one. I call it people's mood ring because I can tell the mood that somebody's in. If I wanted to, you could be in the grocery store all the way across with your back facing me. If I wanted to plug into your energy, I could tell the mood that you're in right away. I don't randomly plug into people's energy, just so you know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know other people's stuff. So, it just makes me laugh. So, along the spine, there's 7 major energy points referred to as chakras. We have chakras all throughout the body, but we have 7 major ones along the spine. We're mainly going to work with the heart chakra because the heart chakra is the most common place that we store things from the past: sadness, anger, pain, such things like that. We're going to work with all the chakras and clear them all, but mainly we're working with the heart. So the first chakra is right below your waist, about it's your second breath in from your tailbone. We're actually going to create 2 balls of light at your feet. They're going to rise, ascend up your legs. Eventually, it's going to form at the base of your spine at your tailbone into a ball of light, which is actually going to transform into a serpent, a big snake coiled up into a striking pose. It's going to be of white light. So it's a big serpent of white light, coiled up like it's going to strike straight up in the air. And that serpent's going to ascend up your spine. It's going to weave in and out of every disc in the shape of the letter S, activating what we call the prana energy. Along the way, it's going to clear blockages and it's going to clear your chakras and open them up as well. So, really important too, because each chakra represents a different organ or different gland in your body, different emotions, different health related stuff. So when one of those chakras go out of balance, those emotions go out of balance. Those emotions come up. I mean, those organs or glands go out of balance, and those health issues come up. So it's really important to work with your chakras. They can actually photograph the energy that surrounds you and your chakras with something called Carillion photography, invented by the Russians by accident. I would love to know what they were trying to invent. Now, don't download this stupid app for your phone because it's not real. It's not real. It takes special photography, special lens and everything to photograph your energy. Those apps can't be real. I tried it just for poops and giggles, and they were both totally different. I think 3 of them. I didn't do the one you pay for. Uh, totally different because it can't be accurate at all. So we're going to be working with the energy that surrounds you, your aura. I can also see illness and disease in people's energy and aura too. I've diagnosed hundreds of people, probably thousands at this point in time. And breast cancer seems to be one of the most common that I see. And I think that's mainly because I really thought about that, why breast cancer is the most common. Well, 98% of my clientele are female. That's probably why. So the serpent of white light that forms at your tailbone. First of all, when you focus on a certain area, you can create energy. Literally, it will create and form. You could build a ball of white light in your hands and throw it at somebody. I don't recommend it unless it's like a black witch. Then you could throw them white light. But yeah, you can actually do that. So this snake serpent of white light will really actually form at the base of your spine. About the second breath in, the first breath, it's going to weave in the first 2 discs of your spine. The second breath in is where your root chakra is, which is right below the waist. It is related to sex, relationships, friendships, love, all that, family. That's red. It's supposed to be red. So when we get there, you can visualize that color illuminating. Next one's 2 fingers below your navel, which is your navel or sacral chakra, which is orange. If you get belly aches or belly problems, intestinal issues, that'd be one of the reasons why. The next one's right below your rib cage, which is actually the second most common place that we store stuff from the past: sadness, anger, pain, stuff like that. That is yellow. That is your solar plexus. It's right below the rib cage along the spine. Then we have the heart chakra, which is green, beautiful, bright, clear green color. Then you have your throat chakra, which is where your thyroid is. If you have thyroid issues, that would be probably one of the reasons why is your throat chakra is out of balance. Plus fluoride. Avoid fluoride like the plague. It's poison. They're poisoning us, folks. They're literally poisoning us. Anyway, throat chakra, blue. That's all about speaking up for yourself, communication. Yeah, that's why they block it off on us. Next one's right here, top arch of your nose in between your eyes. That's your third eye chakra. That's where all your psychic intuitive abilities and visions of the future come in. That's indigo, which is a light lavender purple color. And that's where your pituitary gland is. Last one is at the top center of your brain where your pineal gland is. That is your crown chakra. That is also where our soul resides. Your soul is like a computer chip. It remembers everything since the day the creator created us. All your past lives, all of it, all your Akashic records are all right there in that soul in the center of your brain. Just like if somebody has Alzheimer's disease to the point where they don't know who you are or know nothing, when they die, it will be like they never had Alzheimer's at all. That soul records everything as if they never had the disease. So it's kind of amazing, actually. So the crown chakra is violet, beautiful purple violet color. That is all about communicating with spirit and spirit world. It comes in through the top of our head. Even the Bible, if you believe and read Christianity in the Bible, even the Bible says that we all have the ability to communicate with the divine because we are all created in the image of the divine and therefore the divine ourselves. So there you have it. Some psychic mediums you'll see, and I do often if I'm really open one day, throw on a hat when I go out in public to block off that crown chakra. Doesn't always work. It helps a little bit, but deceased people poke me everywhere I go. Yeah. Oh, I learned to ignore them after all these years. So we're going to be working with all those chakras and clearing them. You remember the dreams you had when you were a little kid of you flying through the neighborhood holding hands with your friends? Remember those dreams? We all had them. That was OBE, out of body experience, astral projection. We all did it. Spirit leaving the body. You know how in the middle of the night your body jumps and you wake up? A lot of times it's your spirit going back into your body because you were astral projecting. Apparently, I end up in people's bedrooms at the end of their bed at night. I don't remember it. But apparently, I do a lot of astral projection when I'm sleeping. So, we're going to be working with that. After I get you up the spine and we work through the chakras and also the energy up your spine, like the river, think of a river getting clogged up and blocked. It all backs up. So, we need to clear that out for you. Then I'm going to count you from 5 to 1. Then we're going to do 2 breaths. Empty the air out of your lungs, take a deep breath in and hold it, and then blow it out through your mouth. You're going to do another breath like that. Empty the air out, take a deep breath in, hold it, and blow that out and tell yourself to relax. Then you'll go back to breathing the way I taught you, in and out through your nose. First part's grounding our energy. Well, second part, technically, grounding your energy. So, you know how you have days where you're all over the place and you're looking for your keys and you're in your hand, or you're looking for your glasses or on your head, or worse yet, on your face? That means you're not grounded energetically. It's not good. That's when we get in accidents, say things less than smart to get us in trouble. So it's important to have your energy grounded. We do that, it's pretty simple. First, by focusing your attention towards the earth below, you put out the thought and intention in your mind. I am going to ground my energy. When you put out a thought and intention, you're basically telling team spirit and universe the outcome of something. So it automatically starts to work out in your benefit. So I'm going to ground my energy automatically starts to happen. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like my eyebrows. It's either people like them or they want to make fun of them, which doesn't bother me because they're just jealous. Anyway, if I didn't pluck, let me tell you, I'd have a big unibrow. And you ever see those older guys with all those hairs? Man, I'd have a forest coming out like that. Anyway, so we put out the intention. Intention's important to incorporate in your daily life. Before you do anything, driving somewhere, safe journey to my destination and back. No cause, no incident, no accident, no place. I wake up in the morning, intention, going to have an amazing, beautiful, productive day. Day goes much better. Our intention is to ground the energy. Then we do what we call opening up our feet and dropping our roots into Mother Earth. So, to the best of your ability, you will visualize in your mind. Don't let anybody tell you different because whatever works for you works for you. We're all different. Your feet opening up like little doorways. If you do this on the floor or ground yoga style, you'll visualize your feet, bottoms of your feet, and also your tailbone opening up like a little door. Instantly, roots come out like little tree roots, like little snakes, slithering down through the carpet if you have any, through the wood, through the concrete foundation, into the earth, spreading out near underneath the whole foundation of the house or wherever you're at. If you do this outside, best place is outside with your back up against a tree, yoga style. The tree helps ground your energy. It's amazing. So you root yourself in, you picture your roots going in, and then I'll have you visualize in your mind your favorite tree. When we do that, we focus at the base of the tree where we see the roots going into the earth. I'll have you see yourself as that tree, grounded, rooted, connected to Mother Earth. Then we send a little love either to the whole earth or to your favorite place on the earth, the beach, wherever you like to go. Part two is to drop into love. I actually learned this from my spirit guides. It's wonderful. I have a little saying: stop and drop into love. Whenever you're experiencing any negative emotion throughout the day, somebody makes you sad, angry, irritable, stop what you're doing, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths to relax. We'll already be there. We're going to focus our attention on the heart center. Again, where you focus your attention, you build energy. So you'll build energy in your heart chakra. Take a deep breath in and hold it. As you slowly exhale through your nose, you drop into love, which is easy. All you got to do is think of somebody, something, or some place that you love so dearly. By the time you exhale all the air out of your lungs, should be the point where your heart smiles and you smile. When your heart smiles and you smile, keep your attention on the heart center and take your next deep breath in. What happens? Your heart chakra just goes whoosh, And that beautiful bright green heart chakra energy and love opens up your energy, clears all negative emotions, fills up your energy with love, fills up the room with love. It's amazing. Especially if like, you have road rage or something. It works really well. So then I'm going to call forward and invoke Archangel Michael and Raphael into your space. Archangel Raphael comes from the east. He represents the element of air. He carries a catechus in his hand, which is the symbol of the medical community, that stick with the snakes with the feathers at the top, which represents air. He wears beautiful purple violet robes with a gold belt, gold accents, and he brings the gold light with him. The gold light is the light of heaven. God, Goddess, divine creator. Heaven is golden. And that's a big part of your healing and opening up your intuition tonight. And then Archangel Michael, when we summon him, is actually pronounced Mikael. He comes from the south, the element of fire. He wears red robes with orange belt and accents, carries his flaming sword. Michael brings the most important with him, which is the light, white light, the light of the archangels. The light of the archangels, the white light, is going to do two amazing things for us. They're going to come in from behind you and pour it down at the top of your head from ancient water containers, water things. They're like the pottery water things with these magical symbols and sacred geometry. Pours it down, comes in through the top of your head, from your tailbone, straight up to the heavens, turns into like a telephone pole pillar of white light, the light of the archangels. You can visualize something white and bright to help you. Then it will illuminate and fill up your bubble of energy with white light. That's first going to clear things for you in your life that are blocking you in any way from opening up to your happy, joyful, abundant destiny. So you may see over the next couple of weeks, next couple of days, things in your life clear out of the way that are blocking you from opening up to your happy, joyful, abundant destiny, especially if you continue this meditation after today. So, ending a friendship, relationship, the way you think, the way you speak, all that. If you have a habit you want to kick, that could be helpful with that, especially with the energy shift coming up beginning on the 14th of November. So then you're going to take in a breath of the white light. You're going to visualize yourself breathing in the white light going into your nose, into your lungs, where then it radiates through all the cells of the body, bringing healing to the body, mind, and spirit. Some folks, when they exhale, have felt, I've heard from the grapevine, that people have had an overwhelming sense of euphoria, or they felt lighter, floating or flying, or they got emotional and started getting upset. I actually had that happen to a client last week. She got like started to just bawl her eyes out. But didn't know why. It's actually a major healing and letting go that's happening. So it's a good thing, actually. Then Archangel Raphael comes in from behind and pours the gold light down upon us. Same thing in through the top of your head. Your spine then shifts into a pillar of gold light. You can visualize something gold to help you with that process. That gold light is going to illuminate and fill up your energy with gold light as well. The gold light is all about opening up your intuition. The gold light is what I like to say when I'm doing readings for um, clients, connecting with deceased loved ones. The gold light is the access to the kingdom of the afterlife. It is our access to heaven. It's our way in, thanks to Raphael. And you're going to breathe in the gold light. The gold light is actually going to help you. Hold on, give me 1 second to monitor these people with their negative. Oh, lordy, 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 lordy. Sorry, give me just 1 second here. Jeez, what is wrong with people? Okay, so the gold light, when you breathe that in, this is what really is cool. It will enhance your channels to your spirit guides and angels, your intuitive channels, your phone line to spirit, your intuition. So your intuition over the next week should be through the roof. Um, oh my lord, lady, where did you come from? I thought I got rid of you. There we go. Madeline, I'm great. Thank you for asking. That's Facebook. I should check on y'all in YouTube. So the gold light is going to enhance your intuition. So over the next couple nights, you should write down things that pop into your mind because it's going to make a whole lot of sense later. It might not make sense at first, but it will later. So write things down. Your intuition will be through the roof. Also, it enhances your dream state. So you should have some really wild visual dreams over the next few nights, which is really cool as well. I've heard some really good feedback from clients over the years of doing this meditation. And I noticed that Michael in the chat room on YouTube is asking about how many guides you have. He has. Actually, it's different. We're all different, and literally, I've learned that we have so many guides that it's just mind blowing that come and go. We have our master guides that are always there. So that's a pretty loaded question because there's really not a solid answer to that question, to be quite honest with you. And then we have guides that come and go. You have guides that you can call on when you want to utilize them in certain parts of your life, along with different archangels and stuff that you can call on. So, as far as master guides, I believe we just have one master guide. I believe. I'm not sure because I have three that are there all the time, and I would like to say they're all my master guides. But what I was told a long time ago is that the one is my master's guide. But yeah, so I think I lost my connection on YouTube. Not YouTube. You guys are all here, right? On YouTube. Can you still hear me? My internet connection sometimes stinks, especially being as we just had all that rain. For some reason, when it rains, I lose my connections. So let's see here. Okay, so after we breathe in the gold light, it goes over to you honoring your loved ones in spirit by mentioning them all in your mind when you're in that state of relaxation. Those that you want to connect with, of course, visualizing them the best you can. If you have pets in spirit world, it's good to mention them as well. Pets in spirit speak English. It's pretty fabulous, actually. My cell phone's about to go dead, so I'm gonna go get a plug to plug that in. And I need to take a break to let my DOGOUT before we get started on this meditation, or she's going to interrupt. So, after we're done calling on our loved ones in spirit, we finish the meditation by focusing back to the heart again, like we did in the beginning. I'm going to give you a sentence that you're going to repeat after me. When you say the word I, you follow that up with your full name. So for me, it's I, Joseph John Tittel, I'm open and ready, yada, 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 yada. And you focus that towards those you called forward, especially if you want to connect with them in any way. Then we focus on the heart, take a deep breath in, hold it, slowly exhale, drop into love like we did before. Think of somebody or something that you love dearly. And again, when you're out of air and your heart smiles and you smile, should be the point where your heart smiles. When it does, keep your attention on the heart center, take another deep breath in. And that time, that beautiful bright green heart chakra energy and love goes out to the center of the universe, creating a big sphere of sacred space energy with your little spirit in the middle and all these spirits that come in and surround you. It's quite amazing. Then I'll say a little something at the end, and then I'll count you out from 1 to 10. Now, you don't have to remember everything I just said, folks. And I know a lot of you just probably stepped in to join us. So that's fine too. I like to explain the meditation just to give you an idea how it's going to go, how it's going to benefit you today, how it can benefit you in the future when you do it later. But I'm going to guide you through it anyway. The basis of importance with any meditation, and this one especially, is the breathing the way I taught you and proper posture. Being that we're doing a grounding, sitting yoga style in a chair is not going to work. You have to have contact to the ground or floor. So yoga style on the floor or sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. So get yourself a headset if that's going to work better for you. I'm going to put just a little bit of music on for a moment while I go take care of my DOGGIE so that she don't interrupt our session because it's TREAT time. She's getting very antsy behind me. I can feel it already. You gotta love it. Gotta love our little fur babies. She is my. I like to say that my dog is my Jesus Christ, my Savior, my one and only Savior. So let's see. Let me find something good to put on here for you while I go take care of her. So we'll take like 5-10 minute break. Come back and get ready to do the meditation because we've been here for a while. I need to take a break. You need to take a break. Get yourself some water. That's the other thing, very important, folks. Drink as much water as you possibly can after this meditation, the rest of today, and the following 2 days after today. Remember, this is a healing and balancing of your energy that's taken place. Really, really important. You're going to be dehydrated and thirsty anyway, more than normal, even if you have to get up and pee 5 times in the middle of the night. Okay, put some music on for you, and I'll be right back. Let's see if I can actually. Is there a way of pausing this video? I don't think there's a way of pausing this video. But if y'all in the chat room, both on YouTube and on Facebook, if you can let others know that are just joining us that we're taking a break and we'll be back shortly to continue the meditation. And let's see here. And I got to go find a cord to plug y'all in with my cell phone for Facebook or otherwise. What is wrong with people? I don't get it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Martinez? Oh, well. I'm working on it, Joe. Still working on it. It's an on and off procedure. It's a tough one, I got to tell you. It's a tough one. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. Don't go nowhere. Got myself some water, too. Find my cord for my phone. All right, I just found my cord from my phone from my moment here. Plug this bad boy in. Oh no, I can't get it to stay up on this thing. What am I gonna do? I need to find a way of holding this up. Maybe this bad boy. Maybe that'll work. Let's see. Heat up got this coffee. All right, warmed up my coffee. I was looking for a breath mint, but I can't find one. All right. Got my water. Got my dog taken care of. 1 second here. You can't hear music you have playing. It's just water I hear running. Aw, thanks for listening, Heather. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Give me 1 second here. That was weird. Alrighty then. Let me fix this. Put that there. All right. Should all be able to hear me again. All right, let me fix that. I have a sty in my eye. It's driving me crazy. Anybody have any advice for styes in the eye? See it over there on the right? Well, you probably can't see. It actually looks like I have an eye boogie. That's what I thought it was at first. All right, let's see. All right. Get back to Facebook here. All right. That's right. My name is Joseph, not Joe. The name on my birth certificate is Joseph, not Joe. And only one person has ever called me Joey, and that's my mother. And I think my aunt calls me Joey. And actually, one of my friends does. It drives me crazy because Joey to me sounds like a little kid or a kangaroo, and I ain't a kangaroo and I ain't no little kid. All right. Let me go to the chat room here on YouTube. Now, all you friends down there in Facebook land, sorry, I'm up here on my computer up here. I don't have a way. Give me a second here. There's got to be a way. Actually, I got a good idea right here. Give me a second. So get ready. I'm going to guide you into the meditation that I explained to y'all in just a moment. And I want to get you up here so y'all Facebook people got it better. So you're not I'm not looking down at y'all. Is that better? Is that a little better, people? There we go. Well, I'd rather you call me Joe than other things that I've been called. But um, my true friends call me Joe or call me Spirit Man or Mr. Spirits. I don't know where Mr. Spirits came from. My friend Bridget came up with that. Mr. Spirits. Um, but Spirit Man is what most of my friends call me, or Joe. But there's a defined line for me. I started using Joseph back when I first started doing readings professionally, when I had my shop when I was 19 years old. And I had business cards done and I used Joseph because I wanted to have a defined line between the business me and the non-business me, the friends and business associates. And that's when I started using Joseph when I was 19 as a reader because it said readings by Joseph. So funny. So funny. God, that was the old days. I think I charged like $5 a reading. Isn't that crazy? But I mean, we are talking 30 years ago here, folks. 28 years to be technical. 28 years. I can't believe I've been reading professionally for 28 years. Oh my lord. Okay, so back to Facebook. Now, I'm on Facebook through my phone, not my computer, because I don't think I can do both through my computer, which I'm using my office computer for YouTube. But again, I only did the Facebook because somebody on Facebook asked me when I posted that I was doing this event the other day, and they said, "How about Facebook?" And I didn't really think about it. I didn't want to really do two at the same time because I can't keep track of two chat rooms at the same time. So I'm only going to do the Facebook Live a few times until I get this on a roll on a consistent basis. For now, my goal is definitely to do every other week, but preferably I'm going to try to get in every week. I'm not sure what night of the week I'm going to do yet. I'm only doing tonight because it's the night before Halloween, and that's the whole goal with this. Because my spirit guides told me that I needed to do this for y'all. It wasn't my plan, it wasn't my intention. I was going to do one actually Halloween night, but they said do it the night before, which makes actually a lot of sense. I probably will do Tuesday nights as my consistent weekly, bi-weekly thing because that's what my radio show was, Tuesday nights. But the thing with that is that, and that's one of the reasons I stepped away from the radio after 8 years because I got pretty burnt out. And I don't know, I just had too many signs that there was too much, uh, no appreciation. Too many people were wandering in from Blog Talk Radio just looking for a free reading that weren't followers. It just got frustrating. And I just took it all as a sign that it was time to close that door and open up a new door. And that's when I moved over to YouTube. Again, I planned on doing this through the summer, but this summer I had so much going on, working on so many things that, and I don't want to be inside in the summertime. But now that it's going into winter, I don't want to be outside. I cannot stand it. So you're going to get sick of me by spring. Okay, let's see here. So, going back to the joke because they're talking about that on Facebook. Yeah. So, when it comes to business, I only like to be referred to as Joseph. Joseph is my name. Even most of my friends call me Joseph, but there's a few friends that call me Joe, which is fine when it comes to my friends. That's fine. My family probably calls me Joe. I don't know because I don't really associate with them, but I still prefer Joseph. That's the name on my birth certificate. That's the name I was given. So that's the name I prefer to use, or spirits or spirit man. Okay, so anybody got any questions for me before we begin this meditation? Once this video is done and posted on YouTube, I will edit it out. I'll edit out the break. I'll edit out, the mumbo jumbo talk. I'll keep it to the point. So if you want to go back and rewatch it or fast forward to the meditation, I find that for me, when I learned to do meditation, just like most people, I had a total misconception as well. I thought meditation was sitting there keeping your mind still. And I used to try to meditate, and I'm like, I can't get my mind to stay still. I can't get my mind to stay still. And then I learned that that's impossible. You can't do that. And that's what most people think. Just like hypnosis, people have a total misconception of hypnosis as well. I did. I went to school to be a hypnotist and certified hypnotherapist and certified past life regressionist. But when I went to school to do hypnosis, I thought I'd be able to hypnotize my friends and make them run down the street naked. But I was so disappointed to find out that that wasn't true. And when you are hypnotized, you're totally aware of everything that's going on. Hypnosis is actually nothing more than a guided meditation. That's what hypnosis is. When I went to school for it, I was like, I didn't know that. I paid for this. I've been doing this for years. So that's what it is. Excuse me, I am out of breath. So guided meditation is the best way to learn how to meditate. And pretty soon, by the turn of the year, there'll be a place on my website where you'll be able to go to download some free meditations that I'll put out there, including this one with the music in the background. I'll have classes and workshops that you'll be able to download as well. I'm really trying to focus on teaching people because that's really what I want to do most of. So keep an eye out for that. Sign up for my newsletter on my website. Also, I am launching two new things that I have never done before for online because I have clients and followers all over the world that have been asking me for the longest time. And I don't know what took me so long, but so I did recently, earlier this year, Transform into Abundance workshop online, which was very successful. When I sat down to do my online workshop program, I my intention was to do what I've been teaching for over a decade, connecting with guides and angels through meditation and such. When I sat down to do the outline, this whole transform into abundance came channeled. I channeled it through for my guides. When I sat down and looked at it like from a distance, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This is so good. And I used it. I used it for myself. I still use the affirmations that I got from Spirit for that. That Transform into Abundance is now available as a download. Once you sign up, every week we'll send you each class from the live recorded session that I did. It's not live anymore. It's also a lot cheaper too, but it's the same thing. It's just not live. If you're interested in that, go to josephtittle.com. I also am doing the way I do my home galleries in people's houses and such. I'm going to be doing that online as a group thing with 10 people, I believe, through Zoom. So I'll be able to see y'all on video. And I'm also doing a New Year's one as well, where on New Year's, January 2nd, I believe, is the first one. It's moving into the New Year's with me. I will allow everybody to ask a specific question. I think that's limited to 10 or 12 people as well. It'll be at least 2 hours or 3 hours long. I'm going to guide everybody into special meditations to help them clear blockages and open up for abundance for the new year. Everybody will get to ask one specific life question, and then I will give everybody a mini 5 to 10 minute reading as well. So check all that stuff out on my website. So a question here. I don't have my glasses on. Give me a second. Well, I don't know if you were here earlier there, James, when I was talking about people calling what I had a gift and tell me I was so gifted and how I used to let that feed my ego because I didn't know any better and thought I knew everything when I was younger, like most young people do. Um, we all have intuition. It's not a gift. Some of us have heightened abilities, which basically means that you have heightened abilities that, in some cases, like myself, I couldn't ignore if I tried. Woke up one day and dead people were in my face again. It was like that when I was a kid, but I blocked it out when I was 9. Long story. It's all in my book, actually. Messages from the Other Side. Now available on Amazon.com for $14.99. Actually, I think it's like $12.99, but whatever. So to find out, again, I can't stress to you that your guides or your teachers, your spirit guides, are what you need to work with. Meditation, just acknowledging your guides, just knowing they're there. Remember, the first things that pop up in your mind out of the blue, the voices in your head are coming from your guides. Acknowledge that, honor them, thank them for that. Also, folks, if you have a question for something that you need help with in your life, I find bedtime one of the best times to ask your guides for assistance. Don't expect an answer right away. I mean, I've been on this spiritual journey for over 30 years and I still don't get answers right away when it comes to myself. I find bedtime's a good time to ask your guides for some help and guidance. Always, of course, thank them, when you ask for a question and guidance, and then go to bed, and the answer will come to you usually within sometimes 24 to 48 hours. Give it at least 3 or 4 days just in case. And the answer will come to you when you least expect it, when you're not looking for it. If you look, you'll never get it. It could be in the middle of the night. You wake up to use the restroom and it pops up in your mind. Pay attention. I can't stress to you enough that the voices that pop up in your head that sound like you're talking to yourself, that is your guides. Pay attention to it. The second thing that pops up in your mind is your fear and ego. So it's learning to decipher the difference between the two so you don't get it mixed up, because the fear and ego is trying to take you down the dark, not the dark, that's a bad way, the future destiny that's not so good. Your greatest fears become a reality future. And then your guides are there to get you to what I call your golden chapters, your master's degree. So decipher the difference. I'll do another broadcast later about that. But right now, this is really about meditation and a little bit about Halloween and connecting with your guides. So that's what I wanted to keep this with. I'm really tired and exhausted, so I can't be here all that much longer. So I need to go move on with the meditation. So give me 1 second here. So get yourself in a comfortable place, quiet, away from all other people, away from all other interruptions. If you're doing this over a phone, you might want to pop your headset in. Can I do a reading for you? Sure. Call my office and make an appointment. Because first of all, you can't read somebody through a chat room. You need to have some kind of connection with a person to truly read them correctly, either through a voice or through a photograph. So these people that supposedly do readings in chat, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me anyway. I have to have something to connect with. I need a voice. I need a picture, a photo to connect. And this isn't about readings anyway. So, okay. Anybody got any questions for me before we go on to this meditation? Um, and my website is josephtittel.com, Tittel, not LE. You can access that through, anywhere pretty much. If you're on Facebook, you should be watching this through my Facebook fan page. Make sure you go to the top of the page and hit the like. And when you click on the like, make sure you hit, wait, I got to go to the page because I forget how to do it. Make sure you hit notifications so that you're getting the notifications, or otherwise what they do, Facebook now, for people that have businesses and fan pages, Facebook, since they went on the stock market, when I post anything or any other business does, your people don't see it. You have to pay to boost your post for people to see it, which is so not cool. Because first of all, I paid to advertise that page to get some of those people to begin with. So now I have to pay for those people to see my posts. It's so not fair. And that's what they do. But if you go on and go to the pages you like, at the top of the page, let me get there. Give me a second. If you click the following, if you just point your mouse to it, you'll see, see first, notifications, all that. And you can also go to that little 3 dot button on the end and hit, see, this is my own page, so it's hard to tell. But up at the top, you can click, make sure you're getting the notifications so that they show up on your news feed. Otherwise, you're not going to see anything unless you go visit the page itself. So questions, anybody have any questions? Let me go to YouTube first, because that's really what we're here about. YouTube. Yeah, you are a Sagittarius. You are correct. Buckle up, get ready. Because that energy shift that starts November 14th till January, it starts with a retrograde Mercury and it starts with Sagittarius. So Sagittarius will feel the most of it, but don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as it can benefit you the most too. It'll benefit everybody. It's going to affect everybody because it's three things at once: a shift, Mercury retrograde, the waning moon from December 4th to the 17th is going to be the super intense period. That's when you're going to see big things happen in the world. Big things. I wouldn't doubt. That's what I wanted to tell you all about. The prophecies. We have a lot of prophecy coming into play right now. Let me just make sure I didn't get any questions here. Da, 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 da. You live in Willow Grove. Well, that's a hop, skip, and a jump because I'm right near the turnpike. I am a mile away from the turnpike. So you hop on the turnpike, it's easy to get to where I am. So yeah, let's do this meditation. I agree. But one thing I wanted to tell you before we do this meditation, prophecy and the prophecies that are coming true. As many of you know, I do predictions every year on January 1st. It's a tradition I've been doing for over a decade. But I followed prophecy since I was a teenager. Nostradamus, Edgar Casey. My favorites are the Lakota Hopi Indians, and Mary Summerrain wrote some books like Earthway, Phoenix Rising is one of my favorites of hers. So lots of prophecies. Bible prophecy isn't one I follow a whole lot, so I can't claim that I know a whole lot about Bible prophecy, but the other ones I do, along with my own predictions and things I know since I was a kid. Well, anyway, one of the Bible prophecies that just came true. Well, first of all, you know about the trumpets blowing in the Bible, where it talks about the blowing of the trumpets. Well, Donald Trump, without a doubt, is one of the trumpets. I think that he might be the third and last trumpet blowing, but I'm not sure because, like I said, I'm not big on the Bible prophecy so much. But there ain't no doubt whatsoever that he is part of the trumpets blowing. And I didn't even think about this till my friend pointed it out. I'm like, I can't even believe I didn't think of that or figure that out myself. Trump ran with Pence, right? Put those two names together, Pence, Trump Pence. Like, hello, Trump and Pence put it together and it sounds like trumpets without a doubt. When I heard that, my friend pointed that out. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't figure that out myself. That is so creepy and just confirms what I thought all along, that he's a big part of the prophecy. Good, bad, who knows? Right now, it's not looking too good on his behalf, but it is what it is. He's there for a reason. The divine put him there for a reason. The world is in a major shifting and change. And come December, oh, so the prophecy that just happened is in the Bible, it talks about the virgin when the virgin stands upon the moon and gives birth. The virgin represents the zodiac sign Virgo, and in the sky in the astrological symbol in the sky on September 23rd, I believe it was. Yeah, September 23rd. The moon ended up right below the foot of Virgo, the constellation Virgo in the sky. So Virgo, the Virgin, was standing upon the moon, as it says in the Bible, which only happens, I think, so many hundred years or such. And it says she will give birth, and the dragon from below will attempt to come and devour the child, but the child will make it to the heavens before the dragon is able to devour it. So think about the virgin constellations in the sky, right? The dragon comes from below. What's below the constellation of Virgo? The planet Earth, right? The dragon, think of a dragon. Dragons devour with what? Fire, right? Of course. Now think of the symbol of the dragon and what that represents in the world and on the planet Earth. Represents the whole continent of Asia. It is a big, gigantic, huge symbol when it comes to the Asian cultures. China, Japan, North Korea, South Korea. It even goes back, of course, to our ancient ancestors, the Mayans, and all had dragons in their mythology, which we say is mythology, but it isn't mythology. It's real and it's truth. Especially our ancestors who wrote about what they really saw. And what do we call it? We call it mythology. Please, that's what they want you to think and want you to believe. So yeah, so that constellation was standing upon the moon, and in the Bible it talks about when the virgin stands upon the moon. And excuse me, where's my tissues? Oh, I need a tissue. Give me 1 second. I need a tissue. Okay. Sorry about that. Excuse me. So the Virgin stood upon the moon on September 23rd. This is where it gets really super creepy, folks. Super duper creepy. On September 23rd, if you remember, we had Hurricane Jose and Hurricane Maria, right? What about two hurricanes with Spanish names, first of all? And one of those hurricanes with a Spanish name did what? Wiped out Puerto Rico, a pretty much Spanish speaking country. I don't find no coincidence there, folks. But here's the real creepy part: is Maria in Spanish is Mary. Jose in Spanish is Joseph. At one point, when the constellation of Virgo stood upon the moon, or the moon was right below her foot, Hurricane Jose and Hurricane Maria passed each other in the Atlantic Ocean at the same time. They passed each other. So Joseph and Mary, or Jose and Maria, passed each other in the Atlantic Ocean when the Bible prophecies supposedly of the virgin standing upon the moon and the dragon coming to devour her, but the child makes it to the heavens before. Well, that whole virgin and pregnancy and all represents Jesus and Mary, of course. I mean, obviously, the Virgo, the Virgin Mother Mary, the Virgin in ancient Egypt would be Mother Isis, who gave birth to the sun god, a virgin birth to the sun god Horus on winter solstice, which just so happens to be 3 days before Christmas. Yeah, it's kind of no coincidence there either. So, how crazy is that? So, here's my interpretation of the whole thing. So again, that dragon, of course, is a big symbolic symbol of Asia and China, North Korea, South Korea, and such. If any of you watched my Trump prophecy video, not my Trump prediction video, because that's my own predictions. The prophecy video was a prophecy that I came across and interpreted from a native indigenous Hopi native written in 1989. I encourage you to watch that as well, because I still stick by that. There's no coincidence in that man saying that true white brother wearing a red cap. Red cap, cap and hat are two totally different things. Cap is pretty darn specific, and Donald Trump wore a red cap that whole damn election. Red cloak, he wore a red tie, which does what? Cloaks over you. So, just my interpretation anyway. And if you read that prophecy that I did on the Trump and that Hopi native, it talks about two other people that he has to align with in order to take the world into a positive place. And if he fails at his mission, the red ants come in the night across the sea and within 24 hours wipe out all the cities in the United States. The red ants is either Russia or China or both of them. The two people that it describes in those prophecies that he needs to align with is obviously Russia, Putin, and China. It's obvious. Well, the one's definitely, you can read it yourself, and it's definitely Putin and Russia. The other one, I'm not 100% sure, but it's an easy guess that it's China. It would make sense, actually. The only ones that could really wipe us out is China. They so outnumber the United States. Actually, one of my friends like argued with me about this. We have the most powerful military in the world and yada yada yada. I'm like, yeah, that's what you think. China's huge. They have outnumber us, I think, like 1 to 3, their military. Like, really, if they wanted to get us, they could. So, and the whole Trump Pence. So, the dragon represents, of course, Asia. I believe it represents North Korea. The dragon devours through fire. What's this whole problem going on right now? It's about the missiles shooting off. And it talks about something about the fire in the sky or something like that. So my interpretation is that that crazy North Korean guy is definitely going to shoot off a bomb of some sort. I don't know if it'll be nuclear. Doesn't have to be. It could be pretty powerful. He's going to shoot that off. And I believe the fire aspect in the Virgin in the sky, hopefully, is United States or Japan shooting that out of the sky and it exploding in the sky. That's what I hope. Um, but yeah, you can say bye to North Korea. They're on their way out the door. It's not going to be pretty either. So hopefully that prophecy of Trump prophecy that I put out there for you all, hopefully, if it is him, which I truly believe it is, hopefully he succeeds in what the true white brother has come to succeed in doing and bringing everybody together. He has the ability to do that if he stop doing whatever craziness that man's doing. I believe that he's going to shift. And believe me, I could vomit in my mouth even mentioning that man's name. I am totally anti politics. Don't like any of them. I feel like they're all liars and they're all puppets. So I don't even like to go there. But I wanted to share that prophecy with you because it's pretty crazy, right? Maria, and how coincidental that two hurricanes that have Spanish names, one of them wipes out Puerto Rico. Yeah, bizarre, bizarre. It is a time of prophecy, folks. It's a time to wake up, time to do this meditation. So get yourself in a comfortable position, please. I was going to do the music in the background, but my dear, amazing, awesome assistant, personal assistant, PA, Heather, who is the most awesome employee ever that I absolutely adore and couldn't survive without her, sent me a message saying that all she could hear was the water or something with the music. And I forgot that that cell phone especially has that noise canceling thing. I think, excuse me, this microphone probably does too, because I bought this high tech microphone and Mac computer to do meditations and such. So I don't think the music's going to work here. But again, at the turn of the year, hopefully by then, you'll be able to go to my website and download different meditations for free. I plan on putting free ones out there, along with different workshops and all that you can download as well. Yeah, I feel sorry for the innocent people over there as well. But you know, we'll see. I don't know why they can't just send somebody over there to assassinate the guy. Because they can. United States is known to do that. They've done it before. They're very known to assassinate. It's one of the things they do the most. I just lost you all. I must have clicked on something. I lost you all. So again, get yourself in a comfortable position. If you have a the hell is going on with this thing? Oh my lord! If you have a headset,
Link, we wanted to show you how we created
oh,
our
sorry.
amazing
Give me a
new
second.
website with Wix. Now we know that.
I don't know what is going on with this darn computer. Oh, never mind. Now I know. Button was stuck. My bad. Sorry, folks. Okay, there we go. Scary times. But that's the other thing, folks. That's what they also want you to be. They want you to be scared. They want you to be in fear. That's how we've all been programmed. Look at the television news. I've been saying this a lot lately. Look at the news. The news is all bad, all negative. They could do a news show that's positive. There's amazing, beautiful things happening in the world every day. They don't choose to do that. They choose to do negative and bad because they choose to keep you in a place of fear. When you're in a place of fear, your fear and ego take over and you have no control over anything and you can't pay attention to your intuitive abilities. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Where do I put that tissue? So, again, get yourself in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths, blow them out through your mouth. Oh, actually, they're telling me to tell you this again because quite a few of you joined in and didn't hear this part. Remember, proper breathing is the most important part of meditation, especially this meditation. Empty the air out of your lungs. Take a deep breath in through your nose. When your lungs are filled with air, you hold that breath for 1 to 3 seconds. You'll come up with a number that's good for you. 2 to 3 seconds is most common. Then you empty all the air out of your lungs through your nose. When your lungs are empty, same process. Hold it for whatever your number is, a couple seconds, and then breathe back in. And it's a consistent pattern like that. Deep breaths in through the nose, deep breaths out, holding it on the full inhale, full exhale for a couple seconds. If your mind wanders, and it probably will, I still have days where my mind wanders in meditation. I want to bang my head against the wall. Just go right back to my voice and right back to your breathing pattern the way I taught you. Remember yoga style on the floor, hands on the lap, palms facing upwards, or in a chair with your feet flat on the floor, hands on the lap, palms facing upwards. When that serpent of white light gets towards the top of your back and into your neck, it's important if you keep your head straight or tilt it too far down, it blocks the energy flow in your neck. You want to keep your head straight and just slightly tilt it down so that the energy flows when the serpent gets to the top of your neck. Just have confidence and know that it's happening. That's pretty much your mind's powerful. As long as you're creating that in your mind, it's actually happening. If you're like I was when I started to meditate, oh my God, am I there? Am I there? Am I doing it right? Is this how you do it? Is this it? Am I there? Am I there? Don't do what I did. Just follow along and know in your heart that it's happening. And you'll be good to go. Remember, your spirit guides are helping you along with this because they brought you here tonight. They got you here without a doubt. They got me here, so I know they got you here. So yeah, okay. So close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths in, blow them out through your mouth, and you're going to follow my voice. And again, if your mind wanders, go right back to my voice and right back to your breathing. Some of you are going to go really deep in this meditation to the point where you think you're falling asleep and not hearing anything that I'm saying. Actually, that's the trance state. That's the best state that you could possibly be in. I am burning sage, James, if that's what you're asking me. So again, go if you feel like you're falling asleep and not hearing me, your conscious mind steps aside. And yeah, your conscious mind isn't hearing anything. Your subconscious steps in. Your subconscious is hearing and doing everything that I say, even though you don't realize it. That's the trance state, best state to be in. So many of you are going to go that deep, especially being it's evening, well, at least where I'm at on the planet. So again, close your eyes, deep breaths in and out through your nose. We're going to focus our attention towards the tip of each one of your feet at the tip of your toes, about 3 inches away from your toes, where currently a ball of light is forming into about the size of a baseball. It's a white, warm, magical, soothing, relaxing ball of light at each foot. Know that it's there. Focus on your breathing the way I taught you. Focus on those points at the tip of each foot. Again, know in your heart that those balls of light are forming. As I call each part of your body into play, that part of your body is going to become really heavy as if it's being filled with stone or concrete. sinking into the floor, sinking into your seat, and sinking into a very deep relaxation. So, again, focusing on the breathing, knowing that those balls of light are formed at each one of your feet. Deep breaths in and out through your nose. And on your next breath in, those balls of light are going to roll into your feet and roll into your ankles. And on your next breath in, those lights are slowly going to begin their ascension up your legs. With each deep breath in, those lights surge up a little higher. With each exhale, you sink deeper into your posture and deeper into your state of relaxation. Heading up towards the calves, eventually the knees, thighs in, top of your legs. At this point, your feet will begin to feel as if your shoes are slowly being filled with concrete and lead, making your feet heavy to a point that you won't be able to lift them if you tried. Deep breaths in and out as those lights pass the knees, going up into the thighs, working up towards the top of the legs. Your legs now become heavier and heavier, as if somebody came along and placed a plate of steel over top of your legs, weighing them down towards the earth below. Deep breaths in and out. You're doing great. Those lights head up towards the top of your legs. And then once they do, they're going to scoot up into each one of your hips and come to a stop for a moment. And in a moment, those lights are going to go straight across the buttocks and hips, meeting at the halfway point, where they will form into a single ball of light at the base of your spine, at your tailbone, between your pelvic, into about the size of a baseball. So, next deep breath in, those lights go straight across your hips, meeting at the halfway point. Now your attention should be right at your tailbone, base of your spine, between your pelvic, where that ball of light is formed into a single ball of light, which is now transforming into a serpent of white light, which is coiled up in a striking pose as if it's going to strike straight up into the air, which is your spine. Breathe deep breaths in and out. In a moment, that serpent's going to ascend up your spine, weaving in and out of every disc of your spine in the shape of the letter S, activating the prana energy, clearing blockages along the way, opening up and clearing your chakras as well. So, next breath in, that serpent's going to weave in the first two discs of your spine. Deep breath in. Perfect. On the following breath is where your root chakra is, which is red, right below the waist. There's blockages there. So, on your next breath in, that serpent's going to break through those discs of your spine, activating that beautiful red light, which illuminates from right below the waist, clearing and activating your root chakra. Perfect. You're doing great. Next breath in, that serpent continues its ascension up your spine, weaving in and out of every disc, heading up towards your navel or sacral chakra next, 2 fingers below the navel, which is orange. You're just about there. So on your next breath in, that serpent's going to break through those discs of your spine, instantly illuminating that beautiful orange light from right below the navel. Perfect. Again, each breath in, that light surges up, that serpent weaves in a couple discs. With each exhale, you sink deeper and deeper into your relaxation and into your posture, heading up towards the middle of the back, heading up towards the solar plexus, which is right below your rib cage along the spine. That's yellow. If you ever get reflux, heartburn, that would be one of the reasons why. You're almost there. So, on the next breath in, that serpent's going to break through those discs of your spine, instantly allowing your solar plexus beautiful yellow light to illuminate from right below the rib cage. Perfect. Clearing the blockages, opening up that chakra. When they open, they spin really fast clockwise. Perfect. Next breath in, that serpent continues its ascension, working up towards the heart chakra next, right behind the heart, which is a beautiful, bright, clear green color. So on your second breath in, 2 breaths away from the solar plexus, that serpent will break through the discs behind the heart, activating that beautiful, bright green heart chakra energy and love. Your heart will smile, you will smile when that heart chakra opens and activates. Awesome. Next breath in, that serpent continues its ascension up your spine, weaving in and out of every disc, heading up towards the top of the back. At this point, your shoulders drop, Begin to feel as if there's a bag of sand on each shoulder weighing them down. Your arms become heavier, sinking into your lap. It feels as if somebody comes along and places a bowling ball in each one of your hands, weighing your hands down into your lap, making them heavy to a point that you wouldn't be able to lift them if you tried. Deep breaths in and out as your arms become heavier. That serpent of white light heads up towards the top of your back, ready to head into your neck. So your head should be straight, slightly tilted down. Next breath in, that serpent heads into the neck. The breath after that, it should head up towards the thyroid, where your throat chakra is, which is blue. Perfect. Next breath in, it's going to break through the discs behind the thyroid, activating your throat chakra, your ability to communicate. Instantly, beautiful blue light will illuminate from your throat area. Perfect. Awesome. You are doing great. Next breath in, that serpent continues its ascension up the spine, towards the last discs of the upper back, behind the head. The third eye chakra, right at the top arch of your nose, in between your eyes, clears and activates. It's a indigo, light purple, lavender color. Illuminates from right above the arch of your nose. And then the final chakra at the top center of your brain, where your pineal gland is, which is a beautiful purple violet color, that instantly illuminates, clears, and opens up. Connects you to the divine, your ancestors, loved ones, guides, angels, allies. I'm going to count from 5 to 1. When I get to 1, you'll be totally, completely relaxed. 5, 4, going deeper and deeper. 3, every sound you hear takes you deeper. 2, and 1, you are totally, completely relaxed. You can even say that to yourself. I am totally, completely relaxed. Empty all the air out of your lungs. Take a deep breath in and hold it. When you're ready, slowly blow it out through your mouth. Releasing all stress, tensions, worries, and anxieties for today, you should instantly feel like a weight was lifted right off your back. Perfect. When you're ready, empty all the air out of your lungs again. Take another deep breath in and hold it. When you blow that breath out, tell yourself to relax. Perfect. And you become more relaxed. You're going to go back to breathing in and out through your nose the way I taught you. We put out the intention in our mind as we focus our attention towards the earth beneath us. I am going to ground my energy. Then, to the best of your ability, open up the bottoms of your feet like little doors, the tailbone, base of your spine. Instantly, roots will come out from your feet, working down through the floor, through the carpet if you have any, through the wood, all the way down into the concrete foundation, breaking right on through, and then down into the earth, spreading out in all 4 directions surrounding you. Then bring into your mind or your visual your favorite tree. When you do, focus at the base of the tree, where you should see all the roots going deep into Mother Earth. You are that tree. See yourself as that tree. Ground it, root it, connected to Mother Earth. Send a little love either to Mother Earth as a whole or your favorite place on the earth, the beach, wherever you like to go. Awesome. Then focus your attention on your heart center. Keep your attention on the heart center from this point forward. When you're ready, take your next breath in. As you slowly exhale, drop into love. Think of somebody or something you love dearly. When you're out of air and your heart smiles and you smile, put your attention to the heart center and take your next breath in. Instantly, that beautiful bright green heart chakra energy and love will illuminate once again, filling up your energy with love, filling up the room with love, clearing all negative emotions from your energy and your space and from the space and where you sit. Awesome. You may also feel a little lighter again. Keep breathing in and out through your nose as I call forward and invoke the archangels to join us. I call forward and invoke from the east and summon from the east the element of air, Archangel Raphael, to join us in our circle in space and assist in the process of healing today. And Raphael comes from the east, carrying the catechist, wearing beautiful violet robes, gold belt, gold accents, bringing along the gold light, the light of our divine creator. We welcome Archangel Raphael into our space. For some of you, he may have brought you a feather, which he will come and place on your lap. The species that pops in your mind first is what that feather belongs to, which is one of your allies that you're going to need to work with. If he did bring you one, you're going to want to thank him for that. Keep breathing in and out. I'm going to call on Archangel Michael next from the south. I call forward and invoke and summon from the south the element of fire, Archangel Michael, to join us in our circle in space and assist us in our process of healing today with the beautiful white light of the archangels. And we welcome Michael from the south, wearing his beautiful red robes, orange belt, and accents, carrying his flaming sword, bringing along the white light of the archangels. We welcome Archangel Michael into our space as well. Michael comes in from behind you first with his little helpers, maybe helping out, begins to pour on top of your head beautiful white light out of ancient water containers with magical symbols, sacred geometry. You can visualize something white and bright to help you with this process. From your tailbone straight up to the heavens turns into a big, beautiful pillar of white light, the light of the archangels. It will illuminate and begin to fill up your bubble of energy with white light, which is instantly already beginning to clear things from your life that are blocking you in any way from opening up to your happy, joyful, abundant destiny. So you'll see that begin to happen for you over the next couple days. When you're ready, that light's going to illuminate, fill up your bubble of energy with white light, and you're going to take in a breath of that white light, visualizing and knowing that that white light's going in through your nose, into the lungs, radiating through every cell of the body and vibrating in every cell of the body, bringing healing to your body, mind, and spirit. When you exhale that white light, you might feel a sense of euphoria, feel lighter, floating, or flying. You may have emotions that come up. That's normal. We thank Archangel Michael for his beautiful white light, his clearing, and his healing. And now Archangel Raphael comes in from behind with heaven's divine's gold light, pours that down upon you in through the top of your head. Your spine now shifts into a big, beautiful pillar of golden light. You can visualize something gold to help you with that process. It will illuminate and fill up your bubble of energy with golden light, which is opening you up to the divine creator, to ancestors, loved ones, guides, angels, and allies. When you're ready, you're going to take in a breath of that golden light when it illuminates and fills up your energy. In through the nose, into the lungs, vibrating through every cell of the body, bringing healing to the body, mind, and spirit. But most of all, clearing all your intuitive channels, your connection and your communication with your guides, angels, and allies, your intuition, enhancing your dream state as well. Perfect. We thank Archangel Raphael for his beautiful golden light, connecting us to the divine creator, ancestors, loved ones, guides, angel allies, opening and enhancing our intuition and our dream state as well. Perfect. Now it goes over to you. In your mind, honoring loved ones in spirit by mentioning them in your mind. If you were to have an intention to connect with one or communicate or receive messages, you would want to, of course, focus on those. Visualize them from the best you can remember. If you have their full name, better yet. If not, that's fine. If you have pets in spirit world, call on them as well. I'm going to give you a moment to call on everybody. And when you're all done calling on everybody, you're going to focus your attention back to the heart center. Remember to keep breathing. Once your attention's on your heart center, now you're going to repeat after me, focusing these words towards all of those you just called forward. You can do this in your mind. You don't have to do it out loud. When I say the word I, you follow that up with your full name. I am open and ready to create. I just totally lost my. I am open and ready to receive messages and guidance from all of you on this beautiful evening or afternoon. Makes my heart smile every time. Perfect. Keep your attention on the heart center. When you're ready, take your next breath in. As you slowly exhale, drop into love again. Think of somebody or something you love dearly. And again, when you're out of air and your heart smiles and you smile, keep your attention on the heart and take your final deep breath in. And as you do, that beautiful bright green heart chakra energy and love goes out once again, illuminates, goes out into the center of the universe, creating sacred space with your soul in the center, surrounded by all your loved ones, ancestors, loved ones, and guides, and angels and allies, which you welcome into your space now as well. Now, if you were going to utilize this meditation to communicate with guides and angels, you would continue staying in this space. But for now, I'm going to get ready to count you out of that space. But first, I'm going to put the rest of the love and energy out to the archangels for assisting us this evening, to our divine creator for bringing us all together this evening in this beautiful space of sacred space of love and healing, and to our ancestors, loved ones, guides, angels, and allies, and mine for bringing me here this evening and directing me to do this for you all. I send that love out to them. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 10. When I get to 10, you're going to feel totally awake, alert, refreshed, energized, fantastic, and a whole lot lighter. 1, 2, 3. You become more aware of your surroundings. 4, 5, 6. Your toes begin to wiggle. 7, 8, movement in your fingers and hands. 9 and 10. When you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes, feeling refreshed, energized, fantastic, and a whole lot lighter. So when you're up and aware towards the floor, never towards anybody else, preferably towards the floor, you're going to shake your hands off like you're shaking water off your hands, as close to the floor as possible. Apparently, there's a residual energy that builds up on the fingers and hands that you want to shake off if it does end up building up there. Um, and you should feel pretty awesome right about now. You should feel a lot lighter. Now, some of you may feel really out of it, especially if you haven't meditated before, and especially if it's evening like it is here. When it's evening and you're a little tired, of course, you're going to go deeper. On your right hand, between your thumb and your index finger, it's pretty far down, right about like in there. When you squeeze, you'll know you found it. Oh, wait, I got to get my Facebook people to be able to see that. So it's pretty far down on your right hand. When you squeeze, you'll know you found it because it's not comfortable at all. It's definitely not comfortable. It is an ancient Chinese, Japanese pressure point, not secret like you thought I was going to say. It's actually a pressure point. And if you hold that pressure point, it represents your kidneys and your liver. If you hold it for 30 seconds or longer, it will give you a boost of energy as if you just had a cup of coffee, which is great if you can't find a coffee shop. Also, if you have problems with your liver or your bladder or kidneys or bladder, like bladder infection, kidney infection, and you massage it for 3 minutes or longer, it will actually clear and heal, bring healing to your kidneys and your bladder. It actually really works. It's not comfortable though, especially for 3 minutes, but it'll bring you out of your meditation completely too. So I hope that was really good for you all and you enjoyed it. The grounding part of the meditation is something I've learned, God, probably close to 30 years ago. Yeah, really close to 30 years ago. So I can't take claims to that meditation because it's a very common meditation in the spiritual community. Grounding is really important. The heart part is I got from my spirit guides and meditation back in, I think, 2012 after I went through major transformation in my life and a big clearing that I call my big purification. And the archangel part I learned from my spirit guides and the archangels, of course. The whole meditation process and the way I put it in order also came from my spirit guides. So, and I didn't realize until after doing it for a while that my guides told me how much of it, how it was a really important healing and balancing of people's energy that takes place in that meditation. So it's really awesome, especially, like I said last week, I had a client that I guided through her. I don't know if it was her and her daughter or her and somebody else. I think it was her daughter came for a private session and she got very emotional with the breathing in the light of the archangels, which of course makes sense because she had a lot going on. She was going through the process of breast cancer. So it was a major healing. And most of the time, you don't know why you're crying, but you're crying. And sometimes you just need to. Haven't you ever had times where you just want to cry and you don't know why? You just feel so depressed, you just want to cry? It's a release that needs to happen. It's a shedding of the layers emotionally. And think of it like an onion. We want to get to the core of the onion, which is where the bliss is, the abundance, the joy, the happiness. And in order to get to that onion, we need to peel the layers away one at a time. Think of an onion too. When you peel away the layers, what happens? Your eyes tear up, you get upset, you cry. Yeah, so it's kind of important. So let's see here. Let me just check the chat in Facebook first. You just started meditating. Good for you. Now you have a really good meditation to help you along with your process. Perfect. Like I said, if you pretty soon on my website, as soon as I figure out how to do it all properly, you'll be able to go there and download different meditations and different classes that I'll be launching as well. Right now, there's the Transform into Abundance workshop class, which is I got from my spirit guides. It's awesome. People have had great success with it, including myself. which you can go to my website and I know I hope she put the button. You can always call my office though, and every week we'll send you out that week's files. They're guided meditations and a lecture that I did live originally. Now it's not live. You'll get the last live one that I did. You'll get a copy of that and the meditations separately that have the music in the background to help you with the process. The first week of that Transform into Abundance, of course, is the meditation we just did actually with the music in the background. And I'll have free meditations on my website eventually that you'll be able to download as well. I look forward to that and classes and teachings. So make sure you visit my website at josephtittle.com. Also visit my the spirit shop, thespiritshop.net, where you can find all your magical needs, sage, anything you need there. Lots of great things. I have thousands of products on there. And also, if you type in fall, capital FALL 25, you'll get 25% off your order on the Spirit Shop now through November 14th, I believe, something like that, pre Christmas sale. It does not include books or tarot cards, so you know. So check it out. Let's see, going to go. So we got lots of people here from Japan. It's funny, I have lots of clientele in Japan, and my book is in Japanese now. And I haven't gotten a copy. I don't know why they didn't send me a copy. I've saw it already, and it's all in Japanese. It's kind of funny to look at something that's yours that you can't read. Also, I'm in a lot of magazines and such in Japan, and anytime they send me a copy, I know the articles about me, but I can't read it. It's kind of fun. Apparently, I'm more well known in Japan, I think, than I am in the United States. Perhaps I need to move there. I wouldn't want to go there right now, actually. Not to freak out anybody in Japan. I don't, there's no intention of doing so. But with that guy in North Korea being right next door, I don't want to be near there. Again, I feel like you're fine and you're going to be safe because I would hope and believe that when he does his craziness, that they'll shoot that right out of the air, which I'm surprised they didn't do to begin with. But so anyway, folks, I have to wrap it up for tonight because I am very exhausted and I need to go get something to eat and get to sleep. But I wanted to finish off with the whole topic tonight of Halloween and All Hallows Eve because we're almost at that point where if you're on the East Coast where I am and it's almost midnight, it'd be a great time to do this meditation. But when you do it with the intention of opening up to receive from spirit, your guides, angels, ancestors, loved ones. If you have a specific loved one, you can focus on them before you do the meditation. Remember, meditation intention is really important with meditation. Going into that meditation with what you're meditating for, what's your intention. So if there's a specific loved one you'd like to hear from, you can go in with that intention. I would more recommend that because spirits, some are stronger than others in spirit world. Just like when I do my work, I can't guarantee somebody that a specific person is going to come through. Even though I know people come to connect with specific spirits, I can't guarantee that because some are stronger than others, and the strongest ones always take over, and it's usually somebody that my client least expects it to be. So my biggest recommendation would be to go in with the intention of connecting with any loved one in spirit that wishes to communicate with you because that way you're open to anybody. If you're too focused on one person and they're not able to get through strongly, you might not get anything. Or you might get something from whoever is the strong energy and mistaking it for who you want it to be when it's actually somebody else. And I still, even doing this work as long as I still have times where I'm mistaken energies for others because they're what I call the speaker, the communicator. I lit some sage, but now I'm going to light some Palo Santo to finish my offering for Spirit for joining us here together tonight in this sacred space. I wish you all an amazing, wonderful Halloween season, and really, technically, in the pagan community, a happy New Year to y'all. That's the other thing. Light a candle. Depending on what your goal is and what you want to manifest, would really determine the candle that you want to light. I would say best thing, unless you have a health issue or something and you want to do healing, that would be a blue candle. More than anything, I would say you want to focus on opening up to abundance and the flow of joy, happiness, and abundance. In that case, it would be a green candle. That would be really good for that. Or a white candle is fine too. White is all about purification and cleansing. On the altar, usually you have two white candles, one on each side. And then whatever candle you're doing, like, intention with, or a spell or prayer with, you'll put in the center. So again, I would recommend green because that's all about money and opening up to money, abundance, and the flow of money and abundance. But it shouldn't even be money. It should just be the flow of abundance, joy, and happiness. And that would help a lot with that. Blue is really good for healing. Purple is really good for psychic intuition and opening up your psychic intuitive abilities. Orange is really good for dreams, enhancing dreams, OBE, out of body experiences, astral projection, things like that. Black, actually, people mistaken black all the time for being evil and dark. It's not true. It's whatever intention you put into it, really. Black is actually all the colors combined. So it's quite a powerful color for energy. And black can be used for multiple reasons, actually. So I'm going to finish this with any questions that y'all may have in the chat. Hopefully, I'll get this video edited sometime tomorrow for you all that may not have gotten to be here when we did it live, to cut out all the mumbo jumbo and the break that I took and such. So, anybody got any questions? I'll start with YouTube first because that's where this is all supposed to be taking place. And I'm only doing Facebook Live for the first few weeks of doing this, and then I'm going to stick with just YouTube. It's too much to be focused in two places at once. I don't know. I noticed a lot of people wandering in to my Facebook page and not my YouTube page, but wandering in on um, my Facebook page, this live video on Facebook, and I noticed that there were quite a few, I guess you could say, um, radical Christians throwing out that we were devil worshippers. Oh, actually, that happened in YouTube too, which just cracks me up. Well, what were you here for to begin with? If something caught your attention to bring you here, probably your spirit guides, actually. So I hope you all enjoyed the meditation, because really it was important that if you're here tonight, your spirit guides got you here. And that meditation is an amazing healing and balancing of your energy. Once I end this in a few minutes, you go back and listen to it again. Remember, we did the meditation right after the break. But again, I want to finish this off this evening with any questions that y'all might have first, starting in the live chat on YouTube. Be sure, folks, to go to my YouTube page if you're on Facebook or anywhere else watching this. Find me on YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook, my YouTube people, under Psychic Medium Joseph Tittel. Not my private page on Facebook, because so you know, I do not accept friend requests on my private page on Facebook. The fan page is where you want to be, because that's where I post things related to what you would be interested in. Thank you, my friend Maggie in Tokyo, Japan, for tuning in on YouTube. I think that's so awesome. And so that you get updates for my next live events, make sure, again, you subscribe to my YouTube page, like my Facebook page, but subscribe to my newsletter by going to my website, josephtittle.com, and signing up for the newsletter. Make sure when you do that, you check your email, because you're going to get an email to confirm your subscription. And you're going to want to put that email address on your safe sender list so that you get the newsletter. It's amazing to me how many people are on my list for my newsletter, thousands, and how many people don't even open it. It actually makes it makes me so sick, because I got to pay for all of them. And it's like, why did you sign up if you're never going to open it? But anyway, so do we need to prepare in a certain way for the next shift? Well, I'm going to do a video on the next shift, and I already wrote about it in my last newsletter. I'll post that link up on Facebook again in a little bit. You can find it on my Facebook page. I'll go into more detail. I did on my blog. If you go to my blog, the last blog post I did was about the shift in April. It's the same thing. So that will give you more answers to your question. It's too much to get into. I could do a whole half-hour video on just that question alone. So can't get into that. Too tired. So please tell me. Please tell me my guides, please. Well, apparently, you weren't listening to the beginning of the show. Go back and listen, and you'll get an answer to that. I don't tell people their spirit guides' names unless it comes up in a reading, which is rare. To me, first of all, there's no validation in that. I could tell you your guide's King Tut. Who's to say it isn't? You have to do your own validation. If it comes up in a reading, it's usually for validation purposes. But I don't usually get that information, because to me, that's something that you're supposed to access on your own. And going back to the story I told in the beginning, your guides, they don't want you to focus on who they are, what their names are, but more of honoring them and acknowledging that they're there. That's what's most important. Once you do that, then you'll get their names and such. I still have guides that I've known have been there for decades that I still don't know their names or what they look like. In my meditation, this one drives me crazy, because he's always 20 feet ahead of me with this purple robe and hood on. I can't even say, it could be a her. I don't know. Always 20 feet ahead of me. And when I run, they're always 20 feet ahead of me. Can never catch up to this darn guy that drives me crazy. Okay, so milestone happened when you. I have no idea what you're talking about there, Gianni. Milestones happen when you're 21, 23, 25, 27. I have no idea what you're talking about. Joseph, I have a personal question. If you have time, no worries. I'm moving to Toronto and kind of scared. This is not about doing readings for people. And if you, again, you were listening in the beginning, I cannot, and nobody really can, anybody, no matter what they tell you, can read somebody else without some kind of a connection, preferably a voice or in person or through a photograph. Like when I work with law enforcement, they send me a photograph. Most of the time, they're out of state, so it's not in person. I have an appointment set up with that detective. I don't even look at the photo until I'm sitting down ready to talk to the detective. And then I open up the envelope and do the reading on the picture. It's quite amazing, actually. Yeah, but I have to have a picture or a voice to connect with somebody to do any kind of readings or answer any kind of questions. Sorry, that's not what this is about. So I thank you all so much. Namaste. Love and gratitude, infinite love and gratitude to you all for being here this evening, for following me on YouTube and on Facebook and everywhere else. And I hope that anybody that slipped in here, um, I don't know, like again, going back to Facebook, there's people that were in there that apparently are not followers of mine, especially the one that kept telling us that we were devil worshippers and such. Yeah, Holy Masadina. I don't know how they ended up finding my video. Got me, no idea. But those that did find my video on Facebook, especially, or here on YouTube, and continue to follow me, I'm grateful. I look forward to our relationship in the future. I will see you all in the future, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great night. Happy Halloween to y'all. And remember, honoring your loved ones in spirit. Really, really important. But I didn't really see any questions unless I missed them. Is it normal? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I got to go, folks. I am exhausted, tired. I need to go get some food and get some sleep and take care of this dye in my eye. But again, thank you all so much. Lots of blessings and God bless to you all. Happy Halloween. And I'll see you next time. I'll be back here again next week. Remember, next week, YouTube, probably Tuesday night. Not sure what the topic will be. Probably be doing a lot of answering your questions, actually. Not personal questions, but questions. So I'll see you all in the future. Have a great night. That was Facebook. And now YouTube. Up, up, up. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, there we go. Somebody just asked a question. Where did it go? Animals don't have souls. Would what would you save that say to them? You mean say to them? Animals do have souls, first of all, and whoever told you that has no idea what they're talking about. Every creature has a spirit attached as it, a spirit as a part of it. Sorry, lost the train of thought. I'm tongue twisted because I'm exhausted, but I said that earlier. There's a spirit of this crystal. There's a spirit of the flower. There's a spirit of the tree. There's a spirit that represents the land. So that's baloney. I mean, if there's a spirit that represents the flower and represents the plant, if there's a spirit for the dog and the cat, and we actually have soul contracts with our pets. We don't pick our pets; they actually pick us, and we have soul contracts with them. Let me just post that real quick. There we go. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, and our pets are there to reflect what we need to work on ourselves. Like my dog used to get these hot spots, red hot spots, and I discovered that she was showing me that I was really irritated, which I was at the time, ending an 8-year relationship. Once I realized that, and this was after going to the vet, trying all these different lotions and all, nothing worked for her. Once I discovered that I was irritated and she was showing me that, and I worked on that irritation, the hot spots went away after spending hundreds of dollars on a vet. Yeah. So they're a reflection to us. So yeah, that's false. Whoever told you that there's no souls don't have animals, and I hope it's not somebody that claims to be a psychic or a medium, because if it is, then you need to run the other way, because they definitely are not for real and have no idea what they're talking about. Especially when I have pets that come through and speak to me from spirit all the time. My favorite one of all was the pet skunk that came through to me one time. I couldn't make that up if I tried. When I told the girl I had this skunk coming through and reading, makes me laugh to this day. So no, that's not true. Actually, and my one friend, we have a little bit of a debate with each other because she says to me all the time, "How do they know that this herb's good for sleep and this herb's good for that? Was there somebody, a shaman, that sat there and tried every herb and ate every herb?" I'm like, Are you really kidding me? She really believed that. No, they communicated with the spirit of the plant because there's a spirit of every plant. So the shaman and indigenous people would, through trance meditation, communicate with the spirit of the plant. And the spirit of the plant would tell them how it could benefit them. And that's how they learned how all these plants and what they do on the planet and what they could eat and what they couldn't eat. Anyway, folks, God bless. Thanks for joining me tonight. Namaste. Be sure to subscribe down below. I'll see you all next time in the future. Night, night.